Good evening, everyone. It's Saturday night, and we are back with another Football Manager stream on a late night Saturday. How is everyone so far? It's halfway through the weekend, so I hope you've all found something useful to do with yourselves. Personally, I did an airport run for the in-laws, and then put a new TV up on the wall for my daughter. So very productive. Not much fun, but productive nonetheless. So here is my fun. We are cracking back on with Hertha Berlin. You may remember last time we left off, we won some trophies. We won the German Cup, smashing Bayern Munich in the final. And we came back from behind to beat Lazio in the Europa Conference League final as well. We finished second in the league on the stream before that, so we are having... we've turned things around from where they were first up. We didn't have the greatest start to last season, so let's hope this season we have a much better beginning. And actually put ourselves in with a chance of getting close to Bayern. Not necessarily expecting to win the league, but it would be nice to be within touching distance of them this time around. So let's get in and have a look at where we are so far. So 12th of July, first friendly, I think is in a couple of days against Juventus. But let's have a look at the transfer history. So, we made a few signings so far. We've made 4 signings. 2 of them were loan signings we've turned permanent. Michaelis Chrysostomou and Karim Adeyemi, both joining us for a combined £54 million, which I think is very good business, particularly with Adeyemi. We brought in Jay Lethan from Burnley for £23.5 million. We activated his release clause. And he was a player we'd been looking at with Rangers, but simply did not have the money to splash out on his release clause. But since we come to Hertha, we've got money. And then we brought in João Neves for £8 million, which is an absolute steal, if you ask me. He had also a release clause, I think it was relegation release clause there, which we activated and brought him in, and he really strengthens that midfield and gives us a bit of depth in defensive midfield. So very happy with the business we've got. He can also play actually in an attacking midfield role as well, so he fits in a number of places in our squad. On the way out, we had really only one worth mentioning is Axel Disasi, who left on a free. Dominic Solanke has also disappeared, and sadly Pablo Ramos, Bayern Munich activated his release clause, and he's one that I would have liked to have kept hold of. I think he had plenty of potential, but it wasn't to be. We'll see how his future with Bayern goes, because he will still be a homegrown Hertha player, and if, as I suspect, he doesn't get a great deal of game time there, we might be able to get him back before his development is completely ruined. We still have, where are you? Jonas Hildebrandt, who has professed that he wants to leave the club because, in his words, he wants a new challenge, basically. He knows he's not good enough for this squad anymore, or at least he's not good enough to be a leading light in the squad anymore. And now with Jay Lethan and Thomas Bergholt in the squad, he's not really going to get much of a look in. He's going to play well behind all of them. So he wants to move on, and I'm happy for him to go. I think we've agreed something like £46 million transfer value. I'm happy with that. If someone wants to give me £46 million for him, we'll let him go, and we'll reinvest that potentially in a new left back. So we've got Georgie Cohane, who, while being a very good player, has been a bit error prone in his first season with us, but he's still young and developing. And then we've got Kevin Akerley, who's only 19, and then beyond that, we've not really got much in the way of players who can play that left back position. So that might be something we strengthen. Alternatively, we could look at right back, where we've got Connor Bradley, who's done pretty well in his first season with us, but behind him we've only really got Masip Bozkurt, and getting rid of Disasi reduces our strength in depth there. And similarly, where we have lost Disasi, we've lost a centre back as well. So we're kind of down to 3 there, and might want to add someone who's fairly versatile across the back line. We can get around that a little bit by making sure Cristiano and Van den Ham play pretty much solely as defensive midfielders. Interestingly, my assistant manager thinks they're both midfielders, but we will continue to play them both as centre-backs. Akani may have to shift back to centre-back as well, especially with João Neves coming in to kind of make that defensive midfield position alongside Nkili his own. With Kari as our kind of backup. So we've got options. We're not completely, we're not struggling to cover positions, which is a really good place to be. And I think in registration for the Champions League, we still have one more place, if I remember rightly. No, I remember wrongly. I think we'll have one more place when we get rid of Hildebrandt. That's where I was going with that. So if we get rid of Hildebrandt, we've got one more player we can bring in who will be able to slot into the Champions League squad, whether or not he is German homegrown. So good position for us to be in, actually. It's still only 20 in the squad, but we've got some youngsters who don't need to be registered, so we're still in a better place than we were when we were at Rangers. So let's move on. We don't play friendlies. We don't do the friendlies. That's for that's for other people to do. That's for my assistant to do. It's also been a fairly momentous day for me today as well, because I've finally managed to catch up with editing my streams for YouTube. So if you're not aware, I do have a YouTube channel. It's Adwin1984. You can find a link in my About page on Twitch. And there I have edited down all of my stream videos to sort of 20 or 30 minute highlight videos, so that you can catch up a little bit quicker, find out and see how we got on up until this point. David Dittle, are we selling you? I think we are. The question is, do I want to loan out Senkbeil, or do we keep him with us? He's not far off being able to play a semi-regular role, is he? Got the potential to far surpass Bryce Marichal. He would be first choice as well, and he's going to play in the Bundesliga. That's quite big. I think we let him go. It's good for them. It's good for us. Let's do that. So if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, do jump over there and click subscribe for me. That would be fantastic. And yeah, feel free to avail yourself of the highlights videos that I've got there. I've set up a playlist so you can watch them all one after the other, nice and conveniently. Who else is being... Right, okay. Kurt Meyer. We've said no because... Why do we say no to this one? I wonder if it was the playing time. You're not likely to be playing in the first team, are you? No. Alright, important player means that I'm absolutely fine sending you off. you offering more money? Oh, if you're offering more money, yeah, let's do that then. Oh, let's just accept them both. It's not so much about how much money we get from it at this stage. It's more, where's his development going to be? And if they're both offering to play him in the same division as an important player, makes no odds to me. Okay, what have my scouts got for me? Okay, lots of centre-backs. Would be quite helpful if they stuck the positions in here. So I'd quite like someone who is versatile. Morata. Okay, most of these are centre-backs who can play in defensive midfield as well, but not that kind of massively versatile anywhere across the back type of player that we'd really like to see. And Callum Doyle would be a good one. You could cover centre-back and left-back. He's got a number of England caps as well. PSG and Liverpool in for him. Perhaps he's better than my scouts are making out. Accidentally clicked on the Agent Ujima flip there, and now it's disappeared. So, well, let's just hope that I've not blown my chance of getting him. Regular starter, Keepio, are you still in the championship? Okay, well, I don't mind you going to play there either. Oh, sorry, we need to finish our recruitment meeting, don't we? These Ebenezer good. These are good. These are good. These Ebenezer good. Okay. We'll have a look at them actually in the scout screen, because they might show me a bit more information, a bit more usefully here. There we go. Look, that's what I want to see. Why would you not show me that in the recruitment meeting? There we go. Right, so he's 30, but he can play all across the back line. Available at a reasonable price, a well-established international. Not a bad shout, that one. Who else have we got? Anyone who can play all three positions at the back? Not really. Well, right back is slightly better covered because we've got Akane, so left back is probably left back is definitely the priority. So I think Callum Doyle is the one I want for that. Question is, can I get rid of Hildebrandt in order to get the money and the Champions League position to register him? That might be a bit of deadline day shenanigans there. Yes, I'm trying to offer him a contract. Right, let's see. Can you be reasonable here? If you can just get rid of that and get rid of that, then I'll offer almost anything else. But this is where it gets silly. Okay, let's give you a bit more there. Let's give you a bit more there. Okay, we're gonna get there. We are going to find something that works for us here. Oh, we're getting close. We are getting close. I'll give you that. That, please. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, you are going 3.9 million. Is that a good sale? You're not really huge on potential, so I'm happy with that. Good luck in your new career. We're going to have Bert Colt get upset with us because we weren't able to agree a contract. We were close. We were so close. I think what I should have done is, as soon as I took the minimum fee release clause off, I should have upped his appearance fee. That's it. And then we would have started from a better position. Still, hopefully, he won't get too upset and he'll give me a chance to rectify that. I think it's the only time I've... Yeah. Okay, right. Well, that's going to make things harder. Oh, look at that, we beat them in a friendly. Champions League, watch out, we're here to capture you. Mayor, so Cayenne, are you League 2? No, not right midfield. We don't really play a right midfielder. Also, I'm not that taken by the French league and its quality compared to, say, German 2 Bundesliga or the Championship. So I'd rather Maya went off to one of those two instead. How many friendlies have we got before we start? So, Provicelli, Sambanetese, Padova, Viterbese, and Milan, and then we're into Bayern Munich and the German Super Cup. Super Cup does definitely feel like a bit of a misnomer there. Nothing super about it. Let's clear that squad so that my assistant manager can pick whoever he likes for these friendlies. I'm not happy either. Alright, what can we promise? Excellent, okay. Alright, come on, we were so close last time. All I want is to get rid of that damned minimum release clause. Remove. Let's start much higher here. We know how high we're going to have to go. And we'll give you that. Oh, we're so close, please. Excellente. Good, okay. We've got him tied down and we've got rid of that blasted release clause. Yeah, okay. Enjoy your time there. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on. Hopefully, we won't ruin him by sending him out as early as we have. Right, who else is offering for my players? Okay, we're saying no to Garliu. Rob Eaton, that's interesting. I think that's the first offer we've had for him to go out. Hoffenheim. You're really going to be playing him as a first choice? Bundesliga standard? I guess they are. He's 17. it feels quite early for him to be involved at that level, but it's going to be a better standard than he's playing with us, so why on earth not? They did say regular starter. Can always recall him if he doesn't get that level of playing time. We do seem to have an incredible youth setup at Hertha, just player after player coming through the ranks. The fact they're telling me not to renew Ezra van den Ham's contract says to me that I really do need to bring in another centre-back. Alright, let's have another attempt at getting rid of Bergholt. Let's offer him out, but we're going to try and structure the deal this time, I think. Not Bergholt. My God. I nearly tried to Hildebrand. Dear Lord. I would never forgive myself if I tried to get rid of Bergholt after all the negotiations about his contract. No, still no one. Let's see if he can drum up some business. We'll change that balance. If we make the balance of it on instalments, maybe might attract a few more teams. It may not, but we've got to try, haven't we? He wants to go. I'm happy to see the back of him, and actually, I want a defender. So you are in a division below. No, he's better. Actually, I think let him decide. I'm happy with him playing at either level. Okay. No, we're not selling. We're not selling him. Simon Richter, you are. No, I'm not going for it as a fringe player. Interesting, you can play as a centre-back, a short centre-back. I don't like short centre-backs, they don't do it for me. But since he's already a decent Bundesliga player, so got so many players who I could potentially bring up to the first team. And many of these are just a little bit off. I wonder, are you still... You're good Bundesliga too, but he was... Okay, he's now 2 Bundesliga. Fine. Simon Richter, on the other hand, decent Bundesliga. He's top league quality already, top division quality already. He might be someone we bring in just as a cover option. Let's do that for now. We can always move him back if we do manage to make a signing. Better register him, I think. I'm grown at nation, but not at club. Interesting. "81 days, right. I'm here in my mold. So until we manage to find a way to get rid of Hildebrand, we're probably not going to do too much business. We have still got 15 million in the kitty, which we can use to stretch to a bigger deal with instalments and the like if we have to. really. I would prefer to have a German-born or a German-trained player, but in the positions we're really looking at centre-back and left-back, there's just not a huge amount there. Not that it improves us anyway. I've got a few players in this level who are as good as people we already have, but then it all gets a bit questionable. Let's just see if there's anyone we haven't scouted, shall we? Oh, there's a whole range of players here. Let's get them scouted. Maybe it's not as bleak as it looks. Because these guys, anyone who's homegrown in Germany, up to I think even 3 of them perhaps, we could stick in the team. Right, let's move on. Let's see what the scouts find there. Yeah, still no one wants Hildebrand. So Dortmund want him, but not at that price. Everyone else can't afford his wages. Okay, well, we'll keep trying to see if we can find the magic formula, but I don't really want to let him go for less than we've already agreed, only because he's annoyed me with all of his shenanigans. And what if we do something like that? No, hold on, he'll have a hissy fit, so let's do that. I need to go back and reject that. I'm not selling Akerley or loaning him out. Right, you need to come off because you got sold. We're not looking at wingers anymore. You've just ticked over into 19. You've definitely got some ability. You've got some potential. Still many things for you to work on. Why was I interested in you? 6'4". Okay, but you're not versatile enough, unfortunately. And Silvano Voss, I think we were looking at you as a defensive midfielder. We were. Also big. But we've already got the man in that role, so you can come off as well. So we're down to Callum Doyle, who is pretty much my first choice, or my first target, my main target here. He covers 2 great positions. Mustang, hi, how are you? I'll just notice we've gone to an ad break, so we'll catch up with you in a second when you're back. If you're not subscribed already, actually, you may be one of the lucky few who's had a gifted sub. But yeah, we're very well, thank you. Productive day, and I was saying earlier, I've managed to finish off editing my last couple of streams, so I'm now up to date, and the highlights are ready for YouTube, and they're scheduled to come out over the following week. I do indeed, yes. I've got a YouTube channel. It's in my About page on Twitch. Otherwise, you can search for Adwin1984, and you should find my page there. Like I said, I've not got separate saves going on over there. All I do is post the full stream videos as well as the edited highlights version. So if you want to catch up on the stream, then do feel free to go and subscribe over there, and you can catch up on the older videos. You can see the change in quality actually. It definitely changes. The first one is, the first few are quite poor. I was using my PS5 headset, and the audio quality is atrocious. It took me a few streams to discover things such as filters on the microphone, but it does. You can see how we've developed over the start of it all. Still got ambitions to improve even further. I'm looking to potentially get probably a lamp just to improve the lighting a little bit, but we'll also look to get a standalone microphone to see if we can improve the audio that way as well. Snopdog the Best, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. How are you doing? How's your weekend going so far? Yeah, Mustang, that'd be great. Thank you very much. How's the weather in Italy been? It's been a bit more cloudy over here today. Yesterday it was blazing sunshine. Today, much more cloud. And I've had to go and drop my mother and father-in-law off at the airport. They're off to, I think they're in Spain. I think they're in Benidorm, if I remember rightly. Everyone's after Rob Eaton. Ingolstadt, where are you? Yeah, important player. Yeah, let's leave this decision up to Eaton. He can decide if he wants to play in top division or division below. Yeah, let's see if we can get someone to come and make an offer for us. Been good weather in Italy. Yeah, good to hear, mate. Good to hear. Have you managed to take advantage of it? How have you spent your weekend so far? Like I said, I've been productive. It's not been a great deal of fun, but it's been productive. It's been very warm for my dog too. Yeah. It gets difficult for dogs in the summer, doesn't it? Even things like being able to take them for a walk. You've got to go early morning, late evening, when the temperatures have come down, because otherwise you end up potentially hurting them. You've been playing football, excellent. So, was it an actual match, or sort of kick around with friends? I've not played football in any real capacity for quite some time now. It's been years, really. I used to love it. Mostly played five-a-side football because it was just it was easier. There was no training involved. You might play one other night a week, maybe. But yeah, just turned up on a Monday night and we played against like various other local teams, and that was a lot of fun. But 11-a-side always felt like too much of a commitment at times, even at the lower levels. Just Sunday league football. You have training 1 or 2 nights a week. I could never really promise that. The best out of my friends too, so easy for me. You're the sort of player who kind of dribbles in and out of them a few times before leaving the goalkeeper on his backside. I've played with a few of those. They're part of the reason why I played in goal. I just couldn't keep up with them. That, and even if I do say so myself, my reflexes are pretty good. And being 6'2" as I am, with long arms, it makes it easy to stretch the ball. Okay, right. Let's still don't want to sell you. It's just not happening. Not for that amount. Although, did we promise we'd sell him for 1.4? I think we did, didn't we? Yeah, we're getting closer to that, but they keep making non-negotiable bids, so what am I meant to do with that? I'm always dribbling past them when I play. Yeah. Yeah, you're the sort of person who makes me want to play in goal, especially seeing I've got more chance of stopping you with my hands than I have with my feet. Have you ever thought of taking up at a further level, you know, sort of playing competitively? Kurt Meyer is going to Nuremberg, so you are playing in our league. No, you're not. You got relegated. All right, enjoy. You ever try it for a professional team? That's amazing. That's brilliant. That's exciting stuff, that is. Right, who have I missed? Right, no, you've all... Oh, more loan offers for Boskurt. He's going nowhere. I don't have anyone else. See, I've got the sort of story that's fairly common in England, where basically I had a chance to play for a team, yada yada. I didn't really. I was 8 or 9 and playing for... Actually, was I a bit older? I might have been 10. And I was playing for a club like in my hometown, and we had a scout come to one of our games from Charlton Athletic, I think it was. And I remember being told that I was too short to ever be a goalkeeper, which I thought was quite funny. So you can have him, but I just want the money. There we go. That's the response. That would be amazing, wouldn't it, if you managed to get to a professional level? So which team, or is it still secret at this stage? My dream is to play for AC Milan and be captain one day. I mean, that's it. That would be incredible. If you do get there, remember me. Come back to the stream and say hi. Assuming by that point I'm still streaming. I'd like to think I will be. I quite enjoy it. But yeah, make sure you swing by and say hello in the stream when you're AC Milan captain. Who is Frank Schultz? Okay, someone who definitely want you to get more competitive game time, and at least Paderborn are actually offering some kind of wage here. Squad player for a 17-year-old is fine. You go and get yourself some proper game time. So what position do you play, Mustang? If you enjoy dribbling that much, I bet you're a winger, aren't you? Winger and centre forward, yeah. Yeah, plenty of these players these days have to be able to multitask, don't they? Okay, Rob Eaton is going to Hamburg. Interesting that he turned down the chance to play in the Bundesliga, although it doesn't look like the team. It was St. Pauli, I think, who were in for him as well. Okay, well, he's another one we want to keep a close eye on because he could well end up in our first team one day. Favourite players, Messi. He's definitely a good idol to have. He's yeah. In my opinion, he is the best ever. Always controversial statement that, but the truth is, it's very close. There are lots of players in that conversation, and it's hard. It comes down to preference more than necessarily one player being better than another. And you're very good, but you're never coming to us, are you? You're going to have no interest whatsoever. You're also £98 million, and there's no way we can afford £98 million. Ronaldo was too until he went to Juventus. Yeah. Well, this is it. We've all got our biases in that sort of thing, haven't we? And if ever Messi turns up to play for Swindon, then I'll change my answer. But I can't see that happening anytime soon. Ooh, you've got potential. Vision and work rate lets you down a bit there, unfortunately. Lack of consistency. Worry is the lack of work rate, I think, affects your ability to reach your full potential. So, probably never going to be as good as you could be if you tried harder. And there we go. Some advice for you there as well, Mustang. Work hard if you want to reach your goals. Feels like that should go without saying, but there you go. I don't like Juventus or Inter Milan too. I don't know you in England, but we call them clubs merde. So I'm assuming that it's quite close to the French merde, which in English is shit. Depending on what part of the UK you come from, it will be shit or shite. Either one works. Okay, he's not interested in going. I'm not interested in selling him. Yes, basically like this. Yep. Florian Neef. At the moment, it still looks like he's got the potential to play in the Bundesliga, so we're not going to let him go just yet. Let's see what the scouts have got for us. This is an interesting one. So another one who can play all along the back line. Preferred to be at right back. I mean, he's 31. That's the problem. I don't want to spend that much money on a 31-year-old. Can I ask, do you like pineapple on pizza? Oh, it's a brilliant, controversial question. Absolutely not. If you do, you are a monster. And I will die on this hill. Pineapple does not belong on pizza. And the thing is, pizza can be an incredibly versatile thing. There are so many things you can put on a pizza, but pineapple should never be one of them. In fact, when I was in Rome a few years ago, I had I can't remember what it was, but it had some sort of it had egg on it, and I just remember that being it's never something I tried, but that was incredible. I enjoyed egg on pizza. I think it was a boiled and sliced egg, and that was quite it was very enjoyable. That it's like a food sin to do that. Completely agree. Personally, I see it as an insult to the entirety of Italy to put pineapple on a pizza, but that's just me. I like being a bit dramatic. You're a potential budget option, but again, 32 years old. Just stop looking at all the old men, Adam. That's why he was so cheap. About ready to retire. Yes, it's an insult to our country. I mean, I don't know if you would know who I'm trying to describe here, but there's a couple of Italian guys who are on TikTok or Instagram Reels or one of those, and they always seem to do some sort of video that involves other countries somehow disrespecting Italian food, like snapping dried pasta, for example. And then they'll fight. They'll do something retaliating at the country of the person who did that. I find that quite amusing. I can't remember what they're called. I've seen a few of their TikToks, and it always amuses me. I think they did songs as well at one point. I'm sure I remember them singing a song. And you've every right to be passionate about food in Italy as well. Yeah, I think that's quite an American thing, if I remember rightly. So spaghetti, I've seen that quite a few times where they can't fit it into the pot that they're boiling it in. So they snap it rather than literally just holding it until it softens and goes in. Okay, do. What are we going for here? Congestion, middle of the pitch. Let's go a bit wider then, shall we? Don't think 5 meters length is going to make that much difference. This says congested, and then suddenly it becomes long by 5 meters. I don't think that feels like a big difference to me. That is a disgrace. It absolutely is. You're not wrong there at all, Mustang. And what I find is completely unnecessary as well. There's absolutely no need to do it. Are we in the cup at this stage already? Feels quite early for us. Okay, we won't go through the whole draw. We'll just see what we end up. Ingolstadt. So, second division stalwarts, and they finished second in third division last season. Feel like we should be able to win that one. Okay, less than a week until our first, we'll call this competitive match against Bayern Munich in the Super Cup. So we absolutely smashed them at the end of last season, the cup final, 3-0. I mean, admittedly, I think they still had the higher XG, but we didn't see a single highlight in that match for Bayern. So I don't think I can necessarily believe the stats on that one. Alworth is probably one we do want to sell. He is 6'7", but he's lazy. He's technically not very good. He's probably not going to improve that much. So 1.6, so guaranteed 1.5, another million if he makes 10 league appearances, and that doesn't feel particularly likely. And another 2 million, nearly 2 million if he makes 10 appearances, so about 3. What do we do? Go on, let's sell him. I've already got my my backup defender here. Let's get him. Been training as a defender on a cover duty. I think he's not that quick, but he's got decent anticipation, so we'll see it coming. Had to make sure you didn't like the biggest food sin of all. Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, that's a very good question to ask someone. If you want to know the very soul of someone, ask them if they like pineapple on pizza. If the answer's yes, then you just need to distance yourself from those people as quickly as possible. That must be a citizenship question in Italy. If you're applying for an Italian passport, I bet that you've got to answer that question correctly. If you say yes, I bet they just stamp it denied straight away. Well, just as proof though that opposites attract, my wife likes pineapple on pizza. It's been a bone of contention in this household for a number of years now. But I'm sorry to report she actually does. Okay, Frank Schultz can go off and play some football. Ooh, beat Milan as well. I mean, that's. I know they're only friendlies, but those results are quite encouraging for what might happen in the Champions League this season. I know, Mustang. I know. Like I say, it's been a bone of contention in this house for many years. We've been married for it's coming up to 13 years in October. And it's been that thing that we just don't mention. We try not to talk about it too often. Ooh, squad numbers. I love squad numbers. You don't need one yet. You're on loan. I'm a rocket man. Think it's gonna be a long time. So Mustang, does anyone in Italy like or even put pineapple on pizza? Now I can't say I looked when I was in Rome, but I don't remember ever seeing an option to put pineapple on pizza, and I just feel like that was just a decision that Italians across the country made and just said, this is never happening. We will not allow it. But do people secretly do it at home? Are there like little cults in Italy set up to pineapple on pizza? I can imagine it being a very underground thing. Secret code words in restaurants for it, and they take you down into the cellar behind a locked door. No one knows. Okay, here we go. Suggesting what seems like a fairly weakened team there, and I wonder if that's just a fitness thing. I missed another bid somewhere. Chief, how you doing, mate? Happy weekends to you. I thought we accepted this. Yeah, we did. That's this one here, Schaefer. You're not going anywhere for free, don't be silly. How's your Saturday been? And the good news is Man City haven't won any more trophies this weekend. The streak has come to an end at least. Got my season ticket for next season sorted already. Excellent, mate, excellent. Do you get any? You don't get any kind of early bird discounts, do you? At Man United. We used to at Gillingham. If you did it by, if you used to buy like the end of April, if you renewed your season ticket by the end of April, you got a discount 10% or something along those lines. But they stopped doing that this season. Instead, what they did was they brought down the regular price a little bit. Still ended up with a lot of us having to pay more money for the season ticket, but kind of understood it. A couple of people had a bit of a moan about it, but it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it just felt like if you've been a loyal season ticket holder over a number of years, you kind of feel like you should get something, even if it's a token discount. But apparently, we're meant to get some kind of discount on club merchandise and stuff like that. So we'll see what we actually get from that. That may not be the worst thing in the world. Right, we're going to put. Let's put a Carney at centre back, shall we? It's been a while since we've had him there. The Glazers don't care about any of us fans, so I mean, yeah, point taken. Right, João Neves, welcome back. Well, welcome, I should say. Get a first look at him. Colt. Should we get Lethen in there? Now, you like to play as a playmaker, do you? So, do we do you as a ball-winning midfielder? You're very good at distributing, though. No, I'll keep you as a playmaker. We'll keep with the current setup. You can stay as an attacking midfielder, and we'll see how you get on in that role instead. There we go. I mean, that's a strong team. That is a strong side that we're putting out. Do you feel like we're missing Disassi when it comes to the bench, though? Kari, Diamande, Brown, Door, and Adeyemi. You know, I don't care. Right, so if every season ticket holder gave up the season ticket, it would be in process. Yeah. Oh, mate. Right. So I've seen this argument, particularly from your club, but also from Spurs fans of late. The argument that but I mean, the worst, I think the most disingenuous part is when they say you're part of the problem. You buy a season ticket, thus you are funding them. Now, there's tiniest nugget of truth in that, because yeah, of course, you're paying the club, not directly to them, and that's what people need to realise. You're not paying the money directly into their pockets. But yes, you are paying the money for your season ticket. But if you don't, it's Manchester United. There's going to be someone who takes your ticket. And even if 40,000 of you turn around and said, we're not doing it anymore, guess what? They'd still sell all of their season tickets. It's not going to happen that suddenly the entire fan base is going to say, do you know what? Actually, we're not going to go. Of course that's not going to happen. That's nonsense. Smaller clubs, yes, I think we've got more power to affect the club through boycotts like that. But a big club like that, not a chance. Oh, that's not good. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Bit of a rating. Oh, Carney at centre-back might not be the one. It was a Carney who made that pass, wasn't it? Well, Cristiano really was the one. Okay, let's not blame Carney. It was Cristiano who just decided not to go for the ball. Yeah, it is a nonsense argument that somehow season ticket holders are part of the problem. Because let's say they sell up and you get Sheikh Jassim. Well, now you're out a season ticket, and we've done it. We've given them a second goal. This is absolutely monstrous. Please tell me that's not Brandon Williams they've got playing at right back. Oh no, Neco Williams. That feels worse. Yeah, I've seen Spurs fans making that argument about season tickets of late, and I just think it's a complete fallacy. The reason you buy a season ticket is because that's your club. You love your club. You want to support the club. You are not directly supporting the ownership by continuing to purchase a season ticket. Because if you don't, the next person will. I do also think that it's very easy to say for those people who, well, let's say Man United fans who live in London. Yeah, they can easily say you shouldn't have it because they wouldn't even be tempted to get the season ticket. They know they wouldn't have a hope in hell of being able to attend that many games. So it's easy to say. There you go, yeah. So you've had a season ticket longer than the Glazers have been in charge, and you're not just going to give it up because Craig from Stockport says you should. Absolutely bang on, mate. And I say it's a completely disingenuous argument because I know full well someone else would buy it, and it's easy for them to say because they are not the people who can buy season tickets, let alone would. And I'm sure if the situations were reversed and they were a loyal supporter, they'd had a decade-long season ticket, guaranteed they would not be giving it up. And Keeley has not died, but he's not doing well. So we'll get a Carney there. We'll do that, and now we'll give Jay Lethan a chance to play his playmaker role in midfield. We haven't been fantastic in this Super Cup. When did Hardy get injured? Why did I not see that? Okay, he can be next to change, I guess. Right, let's spread it wide. It worked for us very well in the cup final against these guys. They're playing a different formation, actually. They are. That might be why we're not doing quite as well. They played the box midfield formation, which I hadn't seen for a few FMs, and only ever saw it in Brazil, and it was impossible to bloody break down. But they actually played it. I think at smaller clubs, Chief, if for example, if Gillingham fans were to boycott, and there was something of a boycott over the years, a number of season ticket holders did not come back to the club, and it hurt the club. It did hit us in the pocket. Could potentially even be part of the reason why Scally eventually did sell up. Well, I feel like we're a long way off of Bayern here. That's a worry. Let's get Hardy off. Ideally, I want to get the whole bloody lot off. They've been pathetic. Get Diamandi on the pitch, shall we? No, exactly that. These smaller clubs, I mean, we don't sell out the stadium. I think we sold it out twice last season, and we're talking, 11,000. I mean, 10.5 really. And even then, when we sold out against Leicester, and it was reduced even further because we had the TV camera, so it was only like 9,500 people, and that was a sellout. But it took a Premier League club to come to us for that to happen. So if we've got, I think last season we had roughly 2,000 season ticket holders, I want to say. That's a big difference. Thank you very much for the follow. What was that? Epideeks? Ep3Deeks? Whatever it is, thank you very much. Welcome. Do you come talk to us if you want to? Tell us what team you support. Tell us if you've got an FM save going on yourself. Always willing for people to join the conversation, especially if it's moaning about nefarious owners. Right, we need to do something because we are getting absolutely hammered here. Right. Not quite the time to do it, or not quite the formation it works against, but we're going to go to the 4-2-4. Akani's coming off because he's just been awful, and we'll try that and see what happens. Oh, it's nearly 4. It makes me laugh, to be honest, when someone says I should give up my season ticket. I've been all around the world with this club, mate. I've been Champions League finals, World Cup finals, yeah. Exactly, mate. And, why should you give it up just because Dave from Surrey, who has only ever seen Man United on TV, on Sky Sports, in the pub, why should he have any say over, or any real say on what is the right thing to do for a season ticket holder? Like I say, you give that up, you're not getting it back. I'm sure there's got to be a waiting list, hasn't there? So if you were to not purchase it for next season, you are not getting that the season after. Hi mate, yeah, I've just won the treble with Spurs and getting and trying to think of a new save idea. How is your save going? I mean, winning the treble winning anything with Spurs is an impressive feat. And you must be on the Hall of Fame for that. But no, well, yeah, great, well done, mate. Yeah, save going pretty well. We started, so I'm gonna let me do my exclamation mark save in the chat so you can see how it's gone so far. But we started unemployed, no coaching badges, no reputation whatsoever, and we ended up here at Hertha, well, Bayern are lifting some sort of pointless pre-season trophy here. So we'll move on. Yeah, so we start. Our first job was in Sweden. We went through Sweden all the way up to the top division, then jumped over to Scottish Premiership with a couple of clubs. And after we bottled the league and the cup with Rangers, Hertha saw something in us that they liked and snapped us up. And well, we've not looked back since. We've had quite an enjoyable time. Last season, we won the German Cup, we won the Europa Conference League, and we finished second. So we're in the Champions League this time around. Yeah, I mean, you see, once you start winning everything, it does get a little bit boring, doesn't it? Like I say, starting unemployed, that's always fun for me because you never know where your career's going to go. Load up some smaller European or even other worldwide leagues and just see what jobs you can get hold of. Either that or you take a small club and see if you can build them into a big one. That one can be quite a time investment. Our next save on stream is likely to be from the 13th level in England. There's a database download you can get from the Steam Workshop, and that looks quite exciting to me. I can get a West Kent Division 2 team and take them to the Premier League. That's kind of the desire. So I like that. That one excites me. Luton, that's not a bad place for you to go, is it? Go and play some football. His first team not trying to actually buy him outright. Van den Ham wants to leave. I mean, I've got no problem with you going. It's just no one's going to buy you for as much as you're worth. Let's see if he can turn that round. No. Alright, let's agree a price. Fine, 26 million. Okay, if anyone pays that, fine. Yeah, I might get the season ticket back for not for a while, especially if it's full sale and the Glazers are gone. Yeah, exactly. So you know what happens? You sell up, you give up your season ticket because you're protesting against the Glazers. Sheikh Jassim comes in, everyone suddenly wants those season tickets, and you're back of the queue. You've had your chance. Yeah, I don't see how that works. So it started the same, unemployed, yeah. Kettering Town, Northampton, and 24 and 1. Won the Premier League and Champions League multiple times, as great as it's been. Like I say, it does get boring. Yeah, it does. And I think sometimes you need to kind of have an end point for the save. You need to say, right, this is what I want to achieve. And once you've done that, that's it. Great. That one goes in the history books. Go and see if you can find yourself another challenge. I mean, this one I've avoided managing in England because I almost always manage in England. I've almost certainly got a save going at any given point with Gillingham because that's who I support. I'm a season ticket holder there. Or I'm doing I take a team from the National League South or North and get them to the Premier League. And yeah, so I do that on a fairly regular basis. I still enjoy it because it's always a different challenge with every new game. But eventually, it stops being fun. So I tend to, this one, I've gone Europe. Like I said, this is the first time actually I have managed in Germany in many FMs. And I'm quite enjoying it at the moment. So yeah, sometimes it's just loading up different leagues, see where that takes you. I avoided Italy for a long time, especially when they had they had shared players. I don't know if you ever remember that. Quite a few FMs ago now, quite a few years ago, you'd have a player that was owned by two teams. That did my head in. I couldn't work it out, so I just didn't manage in Italy. But I have been back there I think it was FM22. I ended up with Sampdoria. Doing a similar kind of non-league to legend type save, but I did it with a friend, like an online save. So we both had a team in the National League South, and we both ended up in Serie A. Me with Sampdoria, him with Juventus. Definitely felt cheated out of that job. Yeah, but a bit of variety helps. T. Jordan, how are you doing? It's going really well. It's going really well. The save, we're just at the start of the 2031-32 season, and we're optimistic. Well, not as optimistic as we were after that battering by Bayern Munich, but I still think we've got a good chance for a good season. And outside of FM, yeah, it's going really well. I was saying earlier, I've hit almost a bit of a milestone tonight. I've actually managed to finish editing all of my streams so far. This is stream number 22, I think it is. But I've edited all of the previous 21 streams down into sort of 25, 30-minute highlight videos and posted them on YouTube. It should all be up by Friday, I think. So, yeah, it was a busy day, but got stuff done. Just finished your journeyman save, trying to decide on a new one. Yeah, this is it. It's always what's the next one. Just saying, I've downloaded from the Steam Workshop the English division down to level 13. I've not used custom databases before, so this will be quite interesting for me. But the aim is to take someone from right down pretty much in Sunday league football, and see if I can turn them into a professional club, because that just sounds like an exciting time for me. But it'll be something new. That's always fun to do, something new. I think FM24, I'm probably going to do a non-Europe save, just for something a bit different. Geordie Shoop. Or George Shoop. Didn't know you were still here. I thought you'd gone. Yeah, go on. Yes, please do. Just pay me for him. Yeah, my challenge this day was to win the Premier League with Spurs. It took 6 years after about 3 seasons. Typical Spurs bottle job was in play. Yeah, this is why I said it was impressive you managed to win anything with Spurs. Definitely Hall of Fame for you. I've always managed England as well. I'm put off by the different leagues as it's different registration rules, etc. Yeah, do you know what? It's something you do have to get used to. Things are slightly different. For example, in Germany, it is very easy to mess up your squad, because for the Bundesliga, you just got to have between 15 and 99 players. There are no other restrictions. Other than the minimum of 8, minimum 4, but problem with that is because you leave so many gaps in the squad, it's fine. You just don't have 99 players. So it's easy to do that and then forget that when you've got to come and register for Europe, you're very limited on what you can do. But for the most part, they're not too bad. Italy's non-EU rules are a pain in the backside. Because I still couldn't get my head around them. But I'm sure for the most part you'll be able to find something that works for you. But all I can say is go and give it a try. If you don't like it, you can just stop, try something else. But it's well worth it, it really is. I quite like as well, I mean, not that I know a great deal about English Premier League football. I'm a League 2 fan. I'm a fan of a League 2 club, I should say. So, I know more about League 2 than I do about the Premier League. So, because of that, I tend to just rely on what my scouts tell me anyway. So, not having knowledge of the clubs or the players doesn't bother me too much. And even when it comes down to, okay, you're playing a match, should I be going attacking against this team, or should I perhaps be a bit more defensive? We can have a look at the season preview like I am here and work out where you are compared to them. And that will give you an idea of the relative abilities of the two sides. So, absolutely well worth it. And yeah, I think the game gives you enough tools to be able to work out what you can do with your club. So yeah, highly recommend it. I'm curious about the emotes I ordered. Have they come? Have you seen them? Have you seen a proof of them yet? Fun fact about Gillingham, only club I've ever been sacked from. Oh, I've been sacked from Gillingham more times than I care to count over the years. Don't think I've ever been sacked because of a relegation, just not for reaching the targets I should have done. I'm not letting Lagaliu go because I think he's still my attacking midfield backup. Actually, I've got Jay Lethan. Maybe I could have let him go, and I'm not letting anyone go out as a fringe player. That's pointless. Oh yeah, first preview should be around Tuesday, I think. So how does it work, Ashwin? Have you just given them the briefing and said, right, this is what I want, this is the style I'm looking for, and they go away and then come back to you with just, you know, here's the selection. Is that the way it works? My man Chief, who was lurking around, I mean, he's been my artist for, well, many days, many days. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's the goods and services PayPal, because at least then you're protected. Don't pay for that if you don't have that option. Sensible, mate. Yeah, I went to Gillingham as they got relegated from League 1 to League 2. Decent summer. It was a mess. I think it was around mid-table. Got sacked. Predicted to finish first. Yeah. Yeah, it's strange. Gillingham feel like, you know, whenever I'm playing them, that it feels like a club that's quick to sack you if you don't reach the targets. Although if you're predicted first and you're mid-table, I think most clubs would probably bin you at that point. I've got an off-stream save that I'm playing as Gillingham at the moment, and last season I've won the Premier League and the Champions League. But big old asterisk next to it. We got taken over. I don't know if you know this. In the winter, so our owner sold us to an American man who a little bit more money than he did, and we've seen some good investment around the club, and you know, some fairly. We had a very good January transfer window. So I in a fit of optimism, went into the database and gave us a £50 million balance. Didn't change anything else, just £50 million. Here you go, Gillingham. Just something a bit of fun for me to play with. And I got us into the Premier League in consecutive seasons. So easy, it was ridiculous. And even then, yeah, into the Premier League, I don't think we finished lower than 10th, and last season managed to win it. It's amazing how a bit of money can make things so much easier. Right, Ingolstadt. Oh, it's the first. Oh, it's the Cup. Excellent. Give some youngsters a run out in that case. Don't necessarily want to play my best team in this one. I'm concerned about injuries as much as anything. There you go. Or Ademi. Okay, this is very much the second string out. That's fine. I ended my save with winning the Champions League with Chelsea, which is my favourite club, something outside of England. Yeah, Jordan, absolutely, highly recommend it. Not necessarily for the broadening of horizons or anything as grand as that. It's something different. I quite like going into Football Manager not knowing anything about the squad I've got, not knowing anything about the teams I'm up against, because it kind of forces you to play the game using what's available within the game, using your scout reports and so on. So yeah, it's quite good for that. I think it kind of makes you better as a Football Manager player to do it that way. I think I started streaming with the new save, tried streaming many times, but always end up not bothering continuing. Yeah, I've only been doing this for, how long have I been doing this? 2 months now. And yeah, but I quite enjoy it. I'd be playing Football Manager anyway. This is just the way I would spend my night. Except now I get to come and chat to people I've never met who and end up having quite a wide range of interesting conversations. And you do get the odd night where no one's around, and I end up talking to myself and narrating my actions and narrating the games. I still enjoy that, so I've just got to the point where yeah, it's quite nice. I would, like I say, I would spend my evenings this way anyway, so why on earth not? And if you don't enjoy it, then you don't have to. That's the great thing. You can continue with your Football Manager save offline. Right, so those of you not fortunate enough to be subscribed, we are going to go to some ads before the game, but I promise I won't run it before you're back, just in case it's one of those full screen ads. So see you in a couple of minutes. So I think I am fine with that. It's a second 11, but they all should be good enough to beat a team that's only just made it out of the third division. I don't know what ads are. Actually, I'm addicted to the 15p that I get for, like, what is it, 3 minutes an hour? I think, is that the 55% split rate? Yeah, that 15 cents. It's not even 15 pence. It's 15 cents. I'm addicted to it. F1 Manager. I remember, now I'm going back a few years, but I remember on, I think it was like a Spectrum ZX or a Commodore 64, an F1 Manager game. That was incredible. Yeah, I've seen it a few times, that one. Subway and the League ads. Yeah. Yeah, the Subway one I've seen a number of times. I seem to get quite a lot of film ads. And I know from personal experience, we've got no control over who gets shown what. But I tend to get quite a lot of film ads. Transformers in the trailer 900 times. Right, you're back. Excellent. Right, let's jump into the match then. Okay, first proper competitive match this one. We don't count the Super Cup, it's a friendly. Just because you get a trophy doesn't mean it's a real match. But we're gone with a slightly weakened squad here. Well, weakened first team, but should be enough to see off Ingolstadt. T. Jordan, thank you very much for the follow. And for those of you not already there, I do have a YouTube channel that you can find in the About page, where I do, like I say, I put the highlights of the streams, and they cut it down as much as I can, pretty much just to the goals and results of each match. So if you want to catch up and see how we've ended up at the stage we're at, feel free to pop over there and have a look. And I think Jay Lethan's about to get himself sent off in 90 seconds. Bonza, right, great. I wasn't quite prepared for that. Can Gabri Veiga play back here? Not really. Okay, so let's undo that. I think Vega's just gonna have to play out there for a while. I don't want to make any changes yet, and we should still be good enough to beat this lot. Just subbed and followed on Twitter. Would like to see how the save goes. Yeah. So I've pretty much set an aim. Once we've won the Champions League, and this is still plus or minus winning a top division, because we've still not managed to win a top division title, despite being in Sweden and Scotland. We just bottled the league with Rangers. But the Champions League is the ultimate aim. And I'm moving on to a new save after we've at least won the Champions League. And once we've won that Champions League, we'll see if we haven't won a top division at that title. Maybe we stick around and see if we can win the league. We'll see how that goes, though. But the next one I'm looking forward to, we're going to create a club. We're going to go right down to the very dark depth of regional football, and we're going to try and turn a new club, a club that we create, into a professional club. That's the aim. Get them into at least League 2, and we'll see how far away from FM24 we are by the time that happens. But yeah, Deeks, you're always welcome to swing by whenever we're playing. Dip in, dip out, lurk, chat. It's completely up to you. I'll just be here waffling on regardless. Can I shouldn't throw a water bottle at him, but that's just awful. How do you get yourself sent off in 90 seconds? Win Champions League defo here, or maybe move clubs. Yeah, there's no rules to sticking around at Hertha. This is very much it's a journeyman save. It's a mercenary save. I'm going wherever I can find glory. I do feel like if I stick around with Hertha for maybe 2 more years, we probably will be able to put together a Champions League winning squad. But you know, if Bayern offer me the job, definitely taking it. If Juventus, Barcelona, Real Madrid, one of the big 4 in England, the big 4 obviously being Man City, Liverpool, Man United, and Gillingham. I'm kidding, or Arsenal. So a team that's genuinely got a chance of winning the Champions League, then I'll move there. Got no qualms about it at all. Right, we'll make some changes. Let's get João Neves off. Keely can come on. And Ademi for Cho. Probably should get Vega off at some point. He doesn't like playing out there. So if you win the league and Bayern manager gets sacked, you've got to jump ship. Absolutely. Like I said, this is a mercenary save. I've got no loyalty to any club I've joined so far. This is very much about personal glory. The next save is about loyalty and developing a dynasty at one club. But for this one, I want trophies, as many of them as I can, as easily as I can, and I don't care which club it is. And Cho makes it 2. Okay, let's get Vega off. He's given it a worthy try over on that right wing. Let's get Burkholt on and Akerley for Cohane, and it gives us 1 more stoppage and 1 more sub for potential injury or someone who gets absolutely exhausted in the next 10 minutes. But whenever I find myself doing a save like this, I think, I really want to build one team from nothing up to something huge. And when I'm doing a save where I've just got one team, I miss moving clubs and, discovering, like turning up day 1 and just changing everything, or, having a good old clear out and rebuilding the squad in my own image. So, so I'm always always craving what I'm not doing. Is this default skin? Yes, it is. I've never played with any kind of custom skin, but I've seen a few good ones since I've been watching Football Manager streams. I've seen quite a few good ones, and I'm very tempted to take one on. But I think what I'll do is I'll do that for the new save. I'm sure it doesn't change anything gameplay wise, but just on the off chance, I'll save that, so I'll have a chance to explore it with a new save. Is it? I mean, do you play with a default skin, or do you have a custom one that you play with? Because I'm definitely open to ideas and suggestions. Right, well, that was remarkably easy, that game. We are the defending champions of this cup, after all. A team like Ingolstadt should hold no fear for us. We're not going to appeal. Has he got some sort of trait that makes him a moron? Competitive streak which can occasionally lead to him bending the rules. Right. Cool. I didn't look at that. On Cristiano. Good stuff, mate. No, I have custom one. I can send a link on Twitter. Yeah, send it on Twitter, or feel free to whisper it to me here. And if you're happy, I'll post it in the chat. I think I've got links turned off for anyone but moderators, just in case. You never know what kind of bots might turn up and cause havoc in the chat. I don't want people getting scammed as a result of it. So yeah, feel free to DM it to me, whisper it to me, and I'll copy and paste it into the chat. Vanden Ham wants to leave. Do we really want him to be captain? I suppose he's not going to play, is he? He's not real captain. He's captain in name only. Stop talking about his release clause expiring. I don't want other clubs getting wind of that. So Deeks, Jordan, who do you support? As you've heard, I'm a Gillingham fan. Little club in League Two, who very nearly got relegated into the National League. We were 6 points adrift at the bottom of the league at halfway stage this season, and thankfully a new owner and 11 players in one transfer window meant that we turned it around massively, and we actually got the second highest points total in the second half of the season in League Two. So very much a season of two halves. Worst team, second best team. Hopefully we can continue the end of season form, or the second half of the season form this season. We're definitely expecting to be at least in the playoffs next year. And I think someone said Sky Bet have got us fourth favourites for the league. So not bad when you consider the likes of Wrexham and Notts County have just come up from the National League. We've still got the likes of Bradford and Stockport in there as well. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Interesting that they're after Akerley, but loan again. I did take him off the loan list, didn't I? Okay, I'm going to have to specifically say not available for loan. Can't whisper his email isn't verified for some reason. I can't DM on Twitter. I think I've got my DMs open. So let me follow you back, and then you should be able to. There you go. Support Liverpool, but from Northampton, and go to some games home and away. Oh, excellent. How difficult is it to get hold of Liverpool tickets? Of Liverpool, you know, it's another club that's well supported throughout the country. Talking with Chief earlier, he's a Man United season ticket holder, and you know, talk about boycotting the owners by giving up your season ticket, etc. The sort of suggestion that comes from people who don't go to games. And I can imagine there's a waiting list there, but you must have something like that as Liverpool as well. Like difficulty getting hold of tickets. Do you have to go into a ballot for away games and stuff like that? Very difficult. That's why I go to. Oh, you go to Northampton games home and away. Okay. I thought you meant Liverpool games. Well, it's always good to be able to support your local club. Because without them, we don't have them anymore. We don't have that. If we don't support those local teams, then they disappear, and suddenly English football turns more into the MLS than the English football pyramid that we know and love. At least you guys managed to get out of League Two this time around. After the end of the season last season, oh wow, it must have been quite the relief. And out of respect, we won't talk about Liverpool's season. That was a shocker. It really was. That's what it said. Right, who have we got in the second round? Union Berlin. That should be fine. We can do something with that. Lights are very difficult, and obviously Northampton and Liverpool don't really compete, so it's all right. I mean, he goes, my best mate is a season ticket holder and goes every game. Well, there you go. Opens your eyes to a different style of football to what you'll see on TV with Liverpool. It's League Two football's League Two football. I don't know what to say to that. League Two football is, let's just say it's competitive. Yeah, Bristol Rovers can do one. I mean, a sentiment shared by many. That one. Right, we are okay. We're going weekend to weekend, so let's pick a strong team. Let's get our league season off to a good start, shall we? Or at least try to get our league season off to a good start. I'll give Diamande a start there rather than Lethen. He's not exactly covered himself in glory in my eyes. And let's go for Adeyemi. You're left-footed or you're left-footed? And I bet you're left-footed as well. Okay. Let's play you as your winger. Play you as a winger and then see how you get on, I think. Okay. Boskirk, Chrysostomou and Akerley. Kari, Lethen. Hildebrand, Dor, and Lochi. Go. Oh, DM set on Twitter. Thank you very much. Let's get Twitter up. So, Deeks, when you streamed, how long did you manage to keep it going for? I say it's this is my first attempt, and I'm genuinely enjoying it at the moment. Well, that's quite cool. Yeah, see, I like this. I like the little summary on the page. I think this is one I've seen before. I like that. And 6 weeks so I was off work with an injury and went back when I didn't have time. Yeah, it can be quite time consuming, can't it? Especially when I decided, for reasons that I still won't be able to explain to anyone, that I wanted to edit the videos and make highlight videos from it. That was a strange idea. I have spent the last 2 months, if I'm not streaming, then I've been editing videos. In between, occasionally actually seeing other people and attempting to have some sort of social life. But it does take up a lot of time, and you feel like you want to do a proper job of it. You want to really dedicate yourself to it, and it's easy to think. It's easy to give up, I think. I can see how easy it is to give up because you think, I just don't have the time, or I want to do other things, or I have other things I have to do. I think what I've found is because I'm the sort of person who gets bored easily, this almost helps to focus me in a way. Or good steal from Keeley, but can't keep hold of it. Cohane now, he's very good going forward. And Diamande, lovely, lovely goal. Lovely goal. And yeah, I mean, I do work full time as well, so you'll never see a daytime stream for me, or it's very, very, very unlikely. But I've said it's a 3 evenings a week. Let's go through spells with the FM Light. Right now I'm playing every day. A few months so, and then one day I get bored and play other games for a while. Yeah, yeah. There's always that craving for other games as well. And that's something I've not done in a couple of months. I don't tend to play many games from new, but I do love the Assassin's Creed games, and I've had my eye on Valhalla for a while. And I think it went on offer on the PlayStation Store, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to get that. And played a few hours of it, played like 3 or 4 sessions. It's really good, but I've not found the time to go back to it, and I do miss that. But I'm hoping now I've caught up on the YouTube videos, I might find the odd evening where I can get off and play that. I'm tempted to get like a capture card or something so that I can do maybe even do a Twitch stream playing that and still have my overlays on. But I think, unless you're planning to do it as a job, as your main source of income, dip in and out of it as you want. Having said that, I've only been doing this for 2 months, so I've really not got much right to be giving anyone advice. I'm brand new to all of this, and I'm still in the enjoyment phase. Never been to AC much. Play FIFA and FM really. Yeah, FIFA's one I've not played for a couple of years. It was never one that I played solo. FIFA was very much friends have come round, or I've gone round to a friend's house. It was a social thing, like doing was it seasons, like co-op seasons. Used to love doing that. It was good fun. But I never got into FIFA Ultimate Team or anything. Oh, Diamande, he's been absolutely quality for me. I first got him at Rangers, got him off Spurs for like £11 million. And he has got a hates big games, or doesn't like big games trait. And it genuinely worried me that he was going to be an absolute flop. But he scored like 12 goals from central midfield for me there. And he scored 11 or 12 for me last season at Hertha. So he's Yeah, he's a very good player for me. But it's crazy how players can have very different career paths and very different development in 2 saves. Right, let's make our first couple of subs. Dor can come on because I really like him. He's got great potential and he quite often does something match changing. And Kari can come on because I just like his shooting from distance. Yeah, no, go ahead, have a look, see how. Let's see if we can compare. He's had a good couple of seasons under my management. I was genuinely worried that because he had that trait, he was just going to end up being a liability. But not really found he goes missing in big games. He's actually scored quite a few big goals for me. Was that offside? Yep, well offside. Wasn't even close. Okay. Burkholt for Lethen, who I really hope starts to adapt to us quite soon. Otherwise, it's going to be a very disappointing flop, especially seeing as I've waited almost 2 seasons to get, well, no, probably more than 2 seasons to get hold of him. Just sent the screenshot. Okay, I'll have a look. Go on, Lethen, please. There we go. That's the way to introduce yourself. No, ref, he was definitely onside. No 2 ways about it. We all know it. Goal, goal, goal. One more change I think we've got. Who's tired? Mande and Keeley Cohane. Let's give Akeley a couple of minutes. Oh, that's 5. This is the way we wanted to start our league season. Lovely stuff. That's surely putting us top of the table there. Right, let's have a look at this. Okay. Corner, yeah, no goals in 33. Slavia Prague. You went to the UAE. It's not. Yeah, I mean, he got 8 goals for Brentford, but outside of that, Nordsjælland was the only one where he did anything. Oh dear. Yeah, not much of a player in your save. Well, we'll have a look at how he's done for us. It's definitely a different story. Mad how I only remember Diamanda for how bad he was. Yeah, you remember 2 types of players in every save. The ones who are absolute superstars and get you 30, 40 goals in the season. And the ones who pretty much ruin your squad. So let's have a look at Diomande in this save, shall we? Biography. I suppose it'll look a bit different because of the skin, won't it? Yeah, so Rangers brought him in, 14 goals, 13 assists. The man was incredible. Scraps, hello mate, how are you doing? Welcome aboard. So Scraps, who do you support? What's your FM save at the moment? Going from Marseille, was on transfer list, and realised quickly why. Yeah, he was on the transfer list at Tottenham. But I figured if he's a Premier League player, he can do the Premiership fairly easily, and he did. I mean, like I said, that's a great return. 27 goal contributions from 35 games, and actually overall, that 33 from 42 starts, and he had a good season for us in Hertha as well. 14 from 27, can't complain. But he still, I think, does have that trait. Doesn't enjoy big matches. And yeah, so far, touch wood, he hasn't really demonstrated what that trait does to him. Oh yeah, Scraps, yep, no problem, mate. I support Gillingham, but yeah, this is a chat for, yeah. Well, there's no big rivalries here. The only reason I ask is just as a conversation starter, really. So yeah, I'm a Gillingham fan, down in League Two, and fingers crossed getting promoted or close to it this season. So yeah, we don't have any rivals, so I can almost guarantee that you don't support a rival to me. I think I sound sport leads have no problem with it. There you go. I've actually watched Gillingham play leagues in a genuine competitive match. We're going back 20 years. You played us in the FA Cup. You came to Priestfield and we drew 1-1. We took you to a replay, which I think you smashed us at Ellen Road. But yeah, that was the only one. I wasn't born then. Oh well. That makes me feel old. Not only did I turn 39 3 days ago, but now I was at a match that you weren't even born for. Oh, my age is showing through now. Very good for you. Used to get small injuries from me, a few weeks out, a few weeks in, yeah. But yeah, he has been consistent. I think that's the biggest thing. He's consistently been there, and he's not really had any dire performances. Doesn't always have big standout ones, but he's always produced something. Well, it looks like we're going to have an ad, but I won't play another game until they're finished. So see you back here when they're done, just in case it's a full screener. One in 10. Scraps, thank you very much for the follow. I will tell you that again after the ads are finished, just in case you can't hear or see me at the moment. But I do appreciate it. To keep going for Boskurt. Here's another one, actually, I need to say unavailable. Yes, he's young, but he is my backup right back. He wants more playing time. Right, okay. Okay, right, you're my cup goalkeeper now then. That's fine. Well, what's the offer here? Mains 32 million. Oh, that's embarrassing. No, try again. I've got no ads. Oh, that's good. That's good. We said I'd sell you for 46 million. My God. Oh, you're a joke of a man. I might sell you just for anything, just to get you out of my club now. You've upset me greatly. Checked. Gillingham any good? No, they're in League 2, but they're decent. And how does it feel to be a Gillingham supporter? Oh, Twitch love F1 manager and Audible. Yeah. Audible, that's another one. I can't get away from that. Not just Twitch, that's everything. So yeah, Gillingham, are they any good? Now we are, yeah. So last season we had the most incredible season. And I literally mean incredible. I don't mean it was that good. I mean it was just, you can't believe what happened. So the first 23 games, we got 14 points. We were rock bottom of League 2. We definitely looked like we were going down to the National League. We just could not win a game, couldn't score a goal. We had 6 goals in those 23 games, 7 goals, sorry, in those 23 games. The worst team in the Football League for scoring. Worse than Wolves were in the Premier League. And then, on the 23rd of December, we got bought out by an American who, we're not talking Ryan Reynolds rich, but he's got a bit of money. And we signed 11 players in the transfer window in January. And then in that, we got the second highest total of points in the second lot of 23 games in the league. In the second half of the season, we were the second best team in League 2. So it was the sublime and the ridiculous. It was the very worst I've ever seen from a Gillingham team, followed by probably the very best I've ever seen from a Gillingham team. Okay, not the very best, but very close to the best. And it was brilliant. Right, okay, Van den Ham wants to go, which is good, because that means that we can possibly go and do something with our interest in Callum Doyle. Where's he gone? Off my shortlist. Okay, so what were they offering up front? About 15 mil, wasn't it? That's fine. Okay, he's got England caps, so he's got to be good enough for us. So if we do, let's do 25 mil up front, and then we'll start with 5 million on instalments and see what that does. Alright, we can find something here. If I do that, yeah, beautiful. Doors at Real Madrid on my Spurs save. Yeah, I'm surprised my scouts don't rate him more highly. Actually, when they first scouted him, I think it was a 4-star current ability. So I do think they're a little bit off on this one. Got 15 England caps. He looks very decent. So scraps. I don't want to poke anything, but how's it feel being a Leeds supporter at the moment? That relegation must have hurt. Now, I know how it feels. We were relegated from League One season before last, so I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Okay. That's all looking good at the moment. Okay, so we're going to have to... There we go. Knock you down a little. Just a smidge. There we go, that'll do. I was tempted to get rid of that sell-on fee, but I'm already having to scrap around year 2032. What are we on? I think we're 2031 here. I'd like to think we've got more pulling power than Sassuolo. Andre, hi. How are you doing? How's your weekend going so far? Andre, yeah. Is that, am I pronouncing that right? First thought it was Andrew, but that was mixing up a couple of letters. League season was frustrating when winning loads of big games, and I actually thought we might do what Villa did and get in Conference League. But what did we do? We decided to sack Marsh, yeah, and bring Javi Garcia. And I still think you should have kept Bielsa. I know he was struggling at one point, but I still think he was one of the best managers you've had in a long time. By Andre Borsa. So we're a few years on, so we'll have a look and see. Well, first we'll see if we've got him in here. Doesn't look like I've got him available. Could be that I didn't have the right leagues loaded when I started it. What's the longest you've gone in a save? I think 15 seasons. And this is going back to the days, and we're going back a while now, when there was a 15 season cap. You couldn't go more than 15 seasons. So we're talking, again, probably about 20 years ago. Probably back when it was called Championship Manager. Actually, no, I think I've gone a bit longer than that. I think I have managed a 25-year save. And that was another one with Gillingham. But this was when I was early 20s and didn't quite have the commitments that I have now. What about you? What's your longest save so far? I don't think I've got many big saves because, like I was saying earlier, I tend to have a target. This is what I want to achieve, and once I've done that, I'm probably bored by that point, so I want to move on to the next thing. Right, Hanover 96 next. This should be a relatively easy one. Mine's probably this year's with Northampton, 19 years, I think. Wow. Well, that's dedication. So Quick Pick basically swapped those two. Okay. Oh, Cho, what's wrong with you? Twisted knee. All right, we're going to start you on the bench just to make sure that we don't destroy you in some way. Inverted winger. How long till Hardy's back? 4 to 9 days. That's good. That's not too far away. And you're far. Love Bielsa, love him, don't get me wrong, but I felt needs to happen and Bielsa was playing Championship players. Yeah, I mean, that first season back in the Premier League is what I was getting at. I mean, I think he did incredibly. But yeah, I mean, perhaps it's something of a fluke. I'm looking at it from the outside. I can't say I've followed it along and knew how he was performing week in, week out, and whether he was making mistakes tactically in terms of player selection and so on. So it's very much an outside view. But I did think after that 9th place, I thought he was going to take your places. And I honestly don't know whether he would have actually got you relegated. But it's probably easier to look at the stuff in hindsight and say, oh no, this person would have done better. When you're the one who's got to make those decisions, I suppose it's not easy. How hopeful are you of a return straight back to the Premier League? That's got to be the aim, surely. Along with Leicester, but my worry for Leicester is they've got, it's going to be a fire sale. Half their squad wants to leave, or will be leaving in the summer, and they've got to rebuild from pretty much nothing. Yeah, it's hard to say, isn't it, Deeks? When you're sort of sitting on the outside, you think, oh, surely this. You had just have a different view on it. He had so many injuries when he left. Yeah, I suspect, in my view, he probably would have been. It would have kept him up, probably fairly comfortably this season. But I support Gillingham, so what do I know? I genuinely don't follow Premier League football that closely. Okay. Right. No complacency is what we're telling you lot. Oh, the number of times I've seen Adeyemi do that. He gets past the he rounds the goalkeeper and then just so gently knocks it towards goal that the defender gets back in time. And yeah, Diomande scored another one. I just had to check that. He scored yet another one. We've got two very different Diomandes in our games. This man's well on his way to becoming a legend. He's only got four goals for Ivory Coast, though. There's obviously I was playing him as a Mazzala for not for Spurs, for Rangers, and now yeah, he's an attacking midfielder here. He did the job so well in both cases. Scared, don't know what's going to happen. Championship does not look easy this season. Yeah, I mean it is. I think that's the way the Championship is going. The Championship rather is pretty much Premier League 2. It is Premier League 2 pretty much. It is so strong. It's a difficult league to get out of. But I'd like to think you'd be able to keep a fair amount of that squad together. And that should be a squad that's going to get you back up. But then, yeah, I mean, you're right. There's a huge amount of strength in the rest of it. Similar to the National League in a way. You've got a whole bottleneck in the National League where you've got so many good teams. So many teams who were pretty recently Football League members, but they just can't get out because only 2 teams go up. League 1 to Championship, though, is a huge jump. Massive jump. Let's get Cohane off. I've not got Akerley. Oh, it's because I quick picked. That's why I've got a weird bench. That makes sense now. Right, okay, I can't take him off. Let's get Cho on then and see if we can get some minutes into his legs. It did look like didn't look like he did much in the career until Rangers. Probably why with international. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're right. Yeah, he didn't score many before then. So obviously, it's me. It's my influence. I've turned him into a superstar. It's what the greats do. Go on, Cho. Oh, and it's another one. Over the goalkeeper, defender gets back. And then he just absolutely destroys Ralph Dorr. He's have to get recruitment perfect, otherwise they will really struggle to come back up. Oh, lovely goal. I love a good cross and header. Yeah, I think I'm in a similar position with Gillingham. I mean, I'm optimistic for the season ahead because I definitely think we should, at a very minimum, reach the playoffs. Absolute minimum, we should be able to reach the playoffs. But there are plenty of teams who are good at this level, good for this level at this level, if you know what I mean. Now we have got the likes of Bradford, we've got the likes of Wrexham, Notts County. Oh, lovely goal from Bamba Dieng there. Disappointed that my centre-back just stood there and let him run off with it, and as a result, he's coming off now. Swap you over because you're 5'11" or 5'10", so I just want you running backwards. I don't want you trying to head the ball. And Connor Bradley can come on there. Last time I accidentally quick pick. Because I've never had so many DMs on Twitter. It's brilliant. Oh, Cho nearly through there. And Kari. Oh, we are scoring goals for fun here, ladies and gentlemen. This is as good as it gets. Right. Let's make our last sub, and that'll be Cohane. I've got no one again. Right, Cohane's going to have to stay on. So, who do we want to look at? We'll get Diamande off and we'll bring on Gabri Veiga. Deeks, are you happy for me to share that one? Because that's an incredible player. That's filth, that is. Guys, I got into football during 2021 Euros and 15 now, so I've never been through relegation till this year. Always hated football, never liked it. But something about the Euros made me fall in love with it, and Leeds got relegated. I cried. It's crazy how much football can really mean to someone. Scraps, absolutely with you there. And you're very much at the start of that journey. You'll see lots of ups and you'll see lots of downs. I've seen Gillingham promoted as far as the Championship. I've seen us very nearly relegated to the National League on a couple of occasions. Never gets easy, but my God, the highs are high, and that's what we do it for. And that club, it starts to become almost part of you. You start to feel like you belong to something. When you have friends who go to the games with you, or watch the games with you, or talk to you about football, you become part of something. You become a part of something that's bigger than just yourself, and there's nothing like it. I don't think it's a huge part of my life. I'm now at the stage where I'm a season ticket holder, my wife's a season ticket holder, our 3 kids are season ticket holders at Gillingham, and so it's become part of my family as well. That's all become intermixed. That's a great feeling, because it's something we now get to share together. So yeah, it's my son actually, he's 12 now, and I took him to his first game when he was like 4 or 5. He got bored at half time, started to try and run onto the pitch. He really got that bored. But I took him again, got him a season ticket 2 years ago, and he came with me, and he was never much of a football fan until he turned up. And he was sat there at a game, and he felt the atmosphere, he heard the atmosphere, and he turned to me and said, "Dad, I don't really like football, but I love coming to football matches." Since then, football's just become his new love. But it is absolutely crazy how much it means. I've cried over many football games, don't you worry. Whether that's England or Gillingham, there's always a reason to cry. As a Liverpool fan growing up, we did nothing crazy until Klopp cried after Champions League or Premier League win. Oh yeah, Liverpool were always a nearly club, or they were for a long, long time. Right, so this is the player that Deeks has brought in. What was it, 19? Did you say? 19 years old. We got him from 19 years old, and look at this. Look at these attributes. It is absolute filth. It's beautiful to see. And at Northampton, of all teams. 75 million at 19. That's amazing. My family's not a football family, and my mum thinks I'm being dramatic. Oh yeah. Look, you'll get that, especially from mums. Mums will never understand. Now, my son's cried at a couple of games. I mean, he cried after we got relegated, and we did an away game last season. We were away to Charlton, and it was a fairly even game actually. Both teams were absolutely terrible, awful match to watch. But Pontus Dahlberg, who I honestly do not know how that man got to play international football for Sweden, because he's a liability as a goalkeeper, absolute liability. But he basically conceded a goal. He gifted the goal to Charlton, and after the match, my son burst into tears because he was like, "Dad, we're relegated now, aren't we?" And he was right. That was pretty much the moment. But yeah, it will all. This is what football does to you. But there will be there'll be the highs as well. There will be the positives. There'll be the last minute winners. There'll be the wins against bigger teams. There will always be moments that keep you going back to it. It was 18 actually. He's homegrown at club. Oh, I love it. That's pretty much what I try to do. Is develop a whole host of homegrown players. Usually, I've bought them all from South America because that's where you get most of the wonder kids. But wherever they come from, I like to get them early and then developing them into first team players. It does mean that when I get into the Premier League and I've got money, generally it takes me a few years to get success because I'm trying to do it all with kids. And it takes a few years before they truly develop. But once you've got them, oh my God, it's such a great feeling. I don't think I'm going to need to do that at Hertha because my dev centre is just chock full. Okay, it's not now because half of them are on loan. But if you look at the potential I've got in my under-19s squad, in Berlin 2, I've pretty much got my my squad for the next few years already here, and then I just need to supplement that. And actually, the recruitment I'm trying to do is very different to what I normally do. I'm doing short-term recruitment. I'm doing players who will get me glory now, rather than looking for those wonder kids, because I've already got them at the club. And I love Hertha for it. I honestly don't know whether this is genuine real life Hertha have one of those academies, like Southampton, where they just pump out future superstar after future superstar. But my God, they're good. And if this is what they're like at the start of the game, I highly recommend Hertha as a starting club for for like a youth only save, where you basically only use players who are homegrown. Don't necessarily always have to come through your youth academy, but you just have to have bought them before they're 18. I feel like this could be quite a fun place to start. Right. I might have to soften my idea on him going out on loan. Because I think initially I was thinking of Lugalio as my second choice attacking mid, but I've got Diamandi, I've got Gabri Veiga, and I've now got Jay Lethen who can also play there. So I think I'm going to let him go and play some football elsewhere. Regular starter at Mallorca, who are La Liga Santander. So you're in the top division, go for it, enjoy. All season, I'm going to say I'm not going to cry if we get relegated. It'll be cool to watch Leeds in the Championship. As soon as we concede against Spurs, which is 2 minutes in, heart drops. Yeah. Oh, Scraps, I've been there, mate. You're trying harden yourself against it. Go, look, I know what's coming. I'm expecting it. It doesn't help. It might help a little bit, but not in any real way. Because you love your club. You want them to do well. You're desperate for them to do well because their successes feel like your successes. Deeks, that's exactly what I did. That's why I did that Gillingham save. I needed to see something good in my club. You're one of mine. Excellent. Okay, cool. That's a great idea, though, Deeks. Save with Leeds, get them back to glory. Hertha in 2041 have just finished 16th. Wow. Well, there was one point last season when it looked like we might have ended up finishing at 16th, if I'm honest with you. No, I want you to... He's going to play as a regular starter at Mallorca, thank you. Hopefully it will still let me do this. But last season... Pass positions. So it won't let me show you last season. But last season, we were 15th after something like 11 games, I think. We were struggling. I got 3 messages saying the next game might be my last. And somehow we managed to pull ourselves up. Not entirely sure how, but we did. We managed to pull ourselves up and get ourselves into second place. That was very much a last season thing. Right, ads coming again. We're actually going to take a 5-minute break, so we will we'll reconvene in 5 minutes. So I'll be right back. And we're back. Thanks for sticking around, guys. A little bit longer than I intended. My poor dog's a bit old. I needed to run out in the garden for a minute. Yeah, Scraps. It sounds to me like you've learned that old adage. It's the hope that gets you. It is. Like you say, you knew how the result was going to go, but you still believed. Right. Champions League fixtures. So we have Celta Vigo, Genk, PSG, Man United, Ajax, Barca, Celtic, Hearts. Interesting that Hearts have made it in. No Rangers. Just trying to set up my stream. What do you use? So I use OBS as my stream software. It's free. It's relatively easy to use. There may well be better free ones out there. So yeah, do look around, see what works for you. But yeah, OBS I found works all right. I know that some people have a problem with it crashing every now and then, and actually did crash a couple of times when I first started. I had 2 streams that I think were interrupted, but touch wood, it's been all right for me the last 6 weeks. I've been, yeah, pretty much fine with it. Yeah, Man United and Barcelona away is tough. I do think, actually, of those, there are 5 games we should be targeting to win. Ajax, Celtic, Hearts, Genk, Celta Vigo, we should be targeting wins, even in those 2 away games there. PSG, Man United, Barca, they're pretty much free hits, aren't they? If we get a point or 2 out of them, we've done all right. Well, I wasn't expecting Sassuolo to be able to get ahead of us. Are they in the Champions League as well? Well, interesting. We're going to have to go out for a new target, aren't we? Something really interesting. I'm working on becoming a sports journalist. I mean, that is interesting. What got you interested in sports journalism? It certainly sounds like an interesting career. Being able to do something you love, or do something enjoyable on the subject that you love. I mean, that's the dream, isn't it? And wanted to stay in Italy. Oh yeah, he was in Italy already, wasn't he? So maybe that was it. Okay, well, that changes things a bit. So we're looking. We can take that off. We don't have to worry about homegrown in Germany. So what's around for us? I don't want old men. That's too old. If you were taller, I'd be very interested in you. But I think you're probably a better defensive midfielder, aren't you? Yeah. Oh, this one tickles my fancy. 68 million. I think we could structure a deal. There'd be plenty on plenty on instalments, but he's got everything I like. He's quick, he's big, he can jump. Do we go for Usman Diomande? Any weaknesses? Nothing that my scouts are worried about. Ooh. I think he might be the one. Might be. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we can do. Big wage request, but I think we can deal with that. Come on, let's see what we can do. Right, I think we can do at least 25 mil up front. Let's do another 25 on instalments over 3 years. Let's guarantee another 3.5 mil from that. Let's see where they sit. Okay, we're not a million miles off. Okay, let's do. There we go, that's the one I'm looking for. Let's make that off. Oh, 7.71 million. I mean, that's a lot, isn't it? It really should be a bit more reasonable here. Let's do that. I think it's because I love writing stuff whenever I'm bored. I always write about something about football because I always needed something to do. Hate being bored. So yeah. I mean, if you enjoy writing, and that's it's certainly something to keep persisting with, because I think writing, I mean, it's an incredible skill. If you can write things, and you can write things that are incisive, insightful, passionate, I mean, that's a skill everybody would love to have. So yeah, even if it's not sports journalism, it could lead you into a number of other paths. You could become an author. You could become wouldn't be a journalist, not just necessarily stuck with sports. It could be it could be anything. But if you can keep it in a field that you're interested in, that'd be brilliant. No, you're having a laugh if you think I'm paying that much for that. I don't want to make that bigger. I'm going the wrong way. They're getting silly now. Okay, we'll step off that. We might go back to him on deadline day when the prices seem to drop a little bit. So yeah, Deeks, interesting you say that it was a bad season that got you into Football Manager. I mean, I've been playing Football Manager, or Championship Manager as it was, since, well, it's probably been 25 years since I first started playing. So I was a teenager at the time, and I'd happily spend hours. I could spend the entire day playing this game. I could get through like a season and a half in a weekend, quite easy. 2 seasons probably in a weekend. Might have even been more back in the days when the game was simpler. Jelic, are you any good? You're okay, but you're no Diamande. Let's see what my scouts found in that position. Diamande's the big one there, pushing. Al Clark. Okay, the potential is why they're suggesting this guy. He's got an England cap already. Would be a handy replacement. 6 foot, decent jumping reach. Fairly technical, only 20, plenty of development. Are you homegrown in Germany as well? Homegrown in the States, interesting. So you dual nationality? Yeah. And you have a minimum fee release clause. We can potentially meet that. Right, let's have one more concerted effort to see Hildebrand go and find a club. Right, we've agreed 38, so if I say 20 million up front, instalments for the rest, see if anyone bites at that particular cherry. Still here, mate, just at the back of my PC, seeing why my webcam isn't working. Ah, I love the technical stuff. My headset seems to develop something of a dodgy cable, and every now and then, sound cuts out. It just kind of disconnects itself. I do need to invest in another headset, and ideally, like a proper standalone microphone. But until I start actually making just a little bit of money out of Twitch, I'm not willing to invest too much. But I think I will have to spend something sooner rather than later. This is a headset that I got off my brother. He used it for work, and no longer does. But yeah, even if you're doing it for fun, you want it to be you want it to be fairly decent quality, don't you? Right, Stuttgart squad player. So the offer you've had from Mallorca, I think, had you as a regular starter. Was their contribution bigger? About the same. So if you make him a regular starter, you can have him. There we go. No, I've not yet watched the trailer. Starfield looks like the sort of game that's right up my street. It really does. It's an RPG which I love. It's Bethesda, and I loved Skyrim, loved Oblivion. Exactly the sort of games I enjoy playing. And this is just set in space, so sounds great. But I've still not seen the trailer. I saw a bit of the controversy about it being fixed to 30 frames per second, which some people got quite upset about, but I can't say I've got a particular view on it, if I'm honest with you. But I love the idea of the game. Like many things, though, it will be one I wait until I've seen a bit of it before I make a decision on whether to buy it. There aren't many games that I go and buy and start playing on day one. I've gone and done something here. I've let you pick roles and duties, haven't I? Let's undo that. There we go. Right, now we'll clear the team and we'll start again. I thought its gameplay looked great. You've pre-ordered it. Yeah, so I've not seen enough of it to be able to decide whether that's something I want to do. But I mean, like I say, I love the idea of it, but I want to see what really comes out. Skyrim and Fallout are my favourite games of all time. Yeah, Fallout. So Fallout was one that I did play for quite a while. I was never as hooked on it as I was with the likes of Skyrim, but I did quite enjoy that. When it comes to RPGs, I just don't think you can beat Bethesda, can you? They just seem to get it. I'll go with Adiemi and Cho. Now let's go with Door. I like Door. Okay, Bayer Leverkusen. Probably our biggest challenge of the league so far, but we should still win this one with relative ease. Alright, let's go and win a game. I think Fallout 4 was the only one I've played. I'd never seen any of the previous games of the series, and I think it was. I think it might have been like the PS Plus subscription thing. So you got like 3 free games per month that you could download, and I found it through that, and I was like, oh, this isn't bad, but it wasn't one that, like I say, it didn't hook me quite as much as the likes of Skyrim. Skyrim, I spent hundreds of hours on. And Mass Effect was another one. Mass Effect I just loved. So for me, it's kind of potentially combining the two. Mass Effect was incredible because it was one of the best. Well, it is the best sci-fi game I've ever played. So if Starfield is anywhere near as good as that, I think I will be hooked. But I'm gonna be cautious. Mostly because games these days they're an investment. They absolutely are an investment. You've got to spend money on them, but the good ones you spend a lot of time on. So I want to make sure it's the right fit for me. Oh, that's a red card. And we are going attacking. And we'll demand some more. More! Mass Effect was one you never got into. I suppose for an RPG, the character customization wasn't quite as much as you see in some games. You are still Commander Shepard. And I guess some of the gameplay is quite different, isn't it, to others you might say. But I mean, yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Huge controversy over the ending in Mass Effect 3. And I was definitely one of those who felt a bit cheated because, yeah, the biggest selling point, I think, of Mass Effect was that your decisions make a real difference. And they did, right up until the end of the game when you basically had 3 paths and what you did in the hundreds of hours you spent playing the game stopped mattering. And yeah, that was... I can understand why some people got so upset. Because like I say, games are an investment these days. For the time and money you spend, you've got to get them right. Yeah, I never played Fallout 3 or New Vegas. And New Vegas I've heard quoted quite a few times, or like mentioned quite a few times as the pinnacle of the Fallout series. Yeah, Skyrim's another one I do pop into every now and then. Really do. Not so much these days, but I used to jump in and out of that. Despite having a man over, we've not quite cashed in on this advantage yet. I think that was offside. I think Burkholt was offside there. I thought we just cheesed them there. We have so many hours in Skyrim. Yeah, between the PS5 and the PC, I dread to think how many hours I've spent in Skyrim. Before that was Oblivion, which I had on my Xbox, and yeah, that was another one I probably played as most combinations. Or actually, no, I probably can't do as many combinations, but I played a lot of combinations of various different races and classes in that. The time I spent in there, just yeah, and it was every minute it was worth it. Right, Chrysostom looks tired, so we'll get Vanden Ham on. Cohane for Akerley, and Dorr can come off for Adeyemi. We'll save that last sub. You watch any other sport? Yeah, I mean a few sports really. So rugby league is one I'm getting more into. I used to be a big rugby union fan, but I've switched codes. I do find rugby league a lot more interesting because it's fast paced. I used to enjoy the tactical side of rugby union, but changed. My tastes have just changed over the years. And cricket, I'm a huge cricket fan. So obviously we've had the Ashes start yesterday, and I have watched pretty much everything bar the morning session today. Love rugby league union. Is so boring. Actually, I don't think it's boring. It's obviously very different to league, but I do enjoy the fast pace of league much more these days. Cricket is not everybody's cup of tea at all, and I completely get that. It's a real shame because you've got Headingley almost on your doorstep. If you live in Leeds, that is. I'm very very jealous of that. I've got the Oval, which isn't that far away. I mean, it's a bit of time on the train and the tube, but I can get within reach of it fairly easily. Let's make one more change. Let's get Burkholt off and Leathern on and see if he can continue to make amends. I don't live in Leeds. Okay, fair enough. But then, yeah, even then, if you don't enjoy the sport, it doesn't matter how good the stadium is that's next to you. You're just not going to enjoy it anyway. Do Gillingham have a rugby team? None of it. None of any quality or importance. I certainly don't know of one, but yeah, there's nothing that plays. No Gillingham rugby team that plays at a professional level that I'm aware of. And I suspect if it did, it would be rugby union. There's very much a north-south divide between league and union. Rugby league is very much a northern sport, and union is a southern one, isn't it? But I do love rugby league. So every year, a group of my friends and I will go to Wembley to watch a Challenge Cup final, and we'll go along and support whoever the underdog is. Although, as a part of this stream, we've got someone who's a Wigan fan who's a regular in here. He suggested to me that I should become a Saints fan. So, because my knowledge of rugby league isn't great, I enjoy the sport, but I don't know much about the. Okay, all right, yeah, but I don't know a huge amount about the teams, so you should support Saints. Turns out they're the biggest team, so I'm just going to be a glory hunter and support Saints because why not? Set up the basics stream. Going to go live tomorrow, I think. Never been into any other sports. Played golf for a few years, but not anymore. See, I do play golf as well. Yeah, I forgot golf altogether. But yeah, do enjoy golf. Don't play anywhere near as much as I used to these days, but I still go away 1 week a year down to Devon with a good friend of mine. Groups that go down vary in size between sort of 2 and 4. Only 2 of us this year. But I do love my golf. Oh, sorry. Gave no warning for the ads there. Support Castleford Tigers. They have the best atmosphere in English rugby league. Oh, really? Oh, you must be very fortunate, Scraps. Or you've got a decent ad blocker. I know a few of them exist. I won't answer that one because it always just upset players. Yeah, so when a Challenge Cup comes to Wembley, we'll go and watch, and we'll support the underdogs. Always cheer against the favourites in that one. I didn't go to last year's because it was at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but it was also in May. It just happened to coincide with my son's birthday. The last one I went to, I think it was Catalan who won it, and we were supporting them because they were the underdogs in that one. Went to Magic Weekend. Yes, yeah. Someone else in the stream went to Chiefs Kingdom, he's the one who did design the emotes for us as well. I think he was at Magic Weekend. Unfortunately, opposite side of the country for me. Otherwise, I'd love to do something like that. Sean Fury, hi, welcome. Do I ever do online? I mean, not on stream, no. But I've only been streaming for a couple of months. But I've certainly played online games with friends. I've had some very good online matches, careers with my friends. So in FM22, friend and I, we decided to do an online save. We took the two teams in National League South closest to us physically, and then just saw how far we could go. We both made our way up through different teams in England before somehow both ending up in Serie A. I ended up with Sampdoria and getting them into the Champions League and finishing. I think I managed to finish second or third one season, but he ended up with a bleeding Juventus job. So he had me on toast. He absolutely smashed me in that. He didn't win the Champions League though. He bottled the final. So, but I mean, it can be very enjoyable. Why does it not let me control my team in online during a game making subs? Did you lose connection at any point? Because sometimes that happens. If one player loses connection, they can get back in and they can go back and watch the game. But because they've lost connection, all control's gone over to the assistant manager. I know that's happened a couple of times for sure in our save. No, I want to sell him. But no one wants to buy him, unfortunately. It auto makes subs for me. Yeah, I mean, the only time I've seen that is when it's when you've lost connection during the game. I presume you don't have that problem on a single player save. Okay, we are going to step up our bid to get hold of. No, we can't get rid of Richter. Let's see if we can get Diamande again. Rusman Diamande, because we need someone. We absolutely need someone. So. Alright. Come on, Everton. You're getting a bit silly here now. Okay, let's see how that goes down. Alternatively, what else have we got? Yeah, as Deke says, maybe try checking responsibilities. Well, yeah, they did have 68 million. I mean, it's now 78. And part of it is because you're offering instalments, the price automatically goes up when you're not paying it in one lump sum. The alternative is Al Clark, who not as good, but has the potential to become even better. Susceptibility to injuries, not consistent. Competitive streak, actually, I don't like any of that. DeGale. Cheap. Potential. Already fluent in German, is he? Ashwin, thank you very much for the raid. Let's give you that shout out that I always forget to do. How was the stream, mate? Many wins? So why are you going so cheaply? To trim the size of the squad, interesting. So do we look at this guy and do we think we're looking at a bargain here? I mean, he's 5'11", which just puts me off a centre-back. It really does. You need to be taller. He's brave, good positioning, clever. He's going to make good decisions. Jumping reaches are all right, and that's probably more important than actual size, isn't it? Unadaptable, right? Hi, Ducky. How you doing, mate? 5 or 6. That's not bad. That's a fairly successful night. I started online FM for save for the mate, and the banter we have when both our teams play each other is funny. Celebrated like you won the Champions League, yeah. Oh, it's brilliant. When you've got an online save going with a friend, it's absolutely brilliant. Looks good, but not in the air. Take a punt if you can't. Yes, the price is incredibly attractive, and actually, it's got some good attributes. And I think, if I remember rightly, jumping reach matters more than actual height. I don't know if it's a combination of the two anymore. It certainly used to be. You'd have a jumping reach, and that would be kind of modified up or down by the height of the player. But I don't know if that's true anymore. It does me well to see you doing great in streaming. Thanks, Ashwin. I appreciate that, mate. I'm just enjoying it, if I'm honest with you. It's fun. I'm genuinely enjoying this at the moment. I'm good, thanks. Just cutting down on how much I play FM. Ducky, that probably means you're down to what, 7 saves on the go at one time? I mean, you're actually getting like 4 hours sleep now. What? Oh, we want to play other stuff. What have you got lined up? Right. I think DeGale might be. We're going to put him on the transfer list. On the short list. I know what I'm doing. I've played this game before, I promise. Now, what have we got in this lad? So £66 million, but is that all on a... Let's talk to the agent, shall we? Oh, it's only just joined. Well, that's pointless. Let's stop having that conversation then. You're too old. Philip Schultz, I feel like I know your name. Why do I know your name? And you're a decent option as a backup. Prefer the idea of one who will develop. Love the banter, especially when both fighting for the same player and we play each other in a knockout round of a cup game. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's that competitiveness you get to have. It's largely a single player, but when you get to play it with someone else, it's fantastic. Glad I left FM, to be fair, but I explained sometime. Yeah. Enjoy your sleep, mate. See you soon. I'll speak to you tomorrow, I'm sure. Can you loan with an option to buy? I mean, possibly. It's been random playing Rocket League and some of the JRPGs I own on stream. It's not bad. Not a bad idea. Right, let's go and skip forward. Let's see what happens with this Diamande offer. Chow chow. You're multilingual, Ashwin. I mean, you already are. Dutch and English is a combo. Right. Do I just accede to their demands? He's an elite centre back. He would improve the squad massively. But I also like a bargain. Oh, come on. We're close. They're haggling over like 2 million. If I'm alone with this friend is not something you stream. I feel like that's something you play off stream. Yeah, I mean, unless you're both streaming, that feels very much like an off stream kind of thing. Can I guess what your unique way of playing Rocket League is? No, I don't think I can, but I feel like there's either a randomness to it or a genuine tactical decision. You're a goalkeeper. You just hang around the goal. What's his injury record? Let's have a look. Where can I see this? Analyst report, is it? Where? Now you can see your own players, can't you? History, that's it, injuries. There you go, dummy. Next to nothing. He once got injured for 2 days a year and a half ago. He's going to be solid in that respect. In terms of performances, an average rating of 7 for a centre-back is decent. Why is he leaving? Not sure why he wants to leave. It looks mostly like he wants to just take a step up. Drive backwards all the time and try to get the odd backwards goal. Yeah, that sounds about right. That tracks. Have I got a Twitter? I have indeed. It's at Adwin84. And there should be a link somewhere in the about part of my Twitch page. But you can find me at Adwin84 on Twitter. Honestly, I use Twitter mostly to talk to Gillingham fans about Gillingham related stuff, but yeah, feel free to get in touch with me there. Don't worry, just need to worry about getting boost. Good point. That's a good point. But look at this man, he's beautiful. Right, do you know what? We're gonna accept that. I mean, I'm slightly concerned now actually that the Van den Ham deal hasn't gone through yet. And I don't know if they're going to pay me enough up front for me to be able to do this deal. So we'll see. It's useless when going in reverse. Well, it just takes a part of the game out of it that you don't have to worry about anymore. That to me seems sensible. Right, can we afford you is... By afford you, I mean your wages. I mean, probably yes. But let's see if we can knock that down a bit, shall we? Okay, so he's willing to come. Barcelona and Sociedad have gone in for Digao on loan. Okay, so we could get him on loan, paying 50% wages. I'd obviously have to pull out of the Diamande deal, and we would be forced to buy him for 23 million at the end of the season. I think it was the end of the season, wasn't it? Yeah. It's funny when you keep back flipping backwards to build up momentum and demo someone. I'm sure they love it as well, Ducky. We also need to see if we can offload Hildebrand to make sure we can do Diomande. Right, let's see if we can get someone to take him for 30 million. It's just a case of get rid of him now. We're not talking about Callum Doyle. Yeah, no worries, Duck. Thanks for joining us. Have a good sleep, mate, and I hope the headache disappears quickly. I can try and do that with an optional. Problem is, I need to either, if I'm going for this one, I need to cancel the Diomande offer, because otherwise I've not got the wage budget to give him what Man City are demanding. I don't have a huge amount of time. Went to bed at 3 last night. It's messed me up. Wow. Yeah, when I do my Saturday night streams are normally till about 1:30, and that's probably what we'll do tonight as well. But yeah, I still need to be in bed by 11 or 11:30 most other nights. Otherwise, I would be a mess. I would be walking around like a zombie. So if we do optional is usually higher, but we'll see if we can do optional 23. Right, optional they want 31. I'll send you something during my Brighton FM save. Yeah, send it over. We'll have a look. And your phone's about to say, yeah, all good reasons, mate. All good reasons. Right. Okay, I'm going to cancel that offer. Got to make a decision. So, Diomande is highly expensive, but he will come in as a first team player. Absolutely no two ways about it. Diagal is more the backup but can develop and could be as good as, if not better than, Diomande. Oh. That's a shocker of a goal. Was that an indirect free kick, Scraps? That's truly disgusting. Right, come on, we need to make a decision here, don't we? I could be stuck on this deadline day forever. Are there other options that I can look at? Could potentially look at trying to sign an old man. There is also Mattia Viti here, who West Ham want about the same that Everton want for Diomande. It is truly shocking. I'm struggling to believe that's happened. Actually, no. I've played FM. I know that it goes this way sometimes. Unbelievable. Right. Let us. Right. Let's put in a tentative offer. I'm gonna go with 20 million. I'm gonna massively load instalments, and I just want to see what they come out with. Yeah, I can't afford that, I don't think. That might be a better. He's older, 29, but too old to spend that much. I know what you mean. But centre backs, they do have a few years from 29, don't they? My big worry now is that it's going to be a transfer budget, though. Because I'm going to be way overspent if I get Diamando. So I won't be able to pour that in. I'll do that because no one's telling me I can't at the moment. No, do you know what? You're right. I don't think I want to spend that much on him. Gave me FIFA 23 vibes. I know what you mean. Yeah. Wrestling's on. All right. Well, go enjoy the wrestling scraps. It's been fun chatting to you, and hope to see you back in a future stream, mate. Have a good one. I think it's not going to get any better. I like to spend a little on the older players and more happy. Yeah. No, honestly, I'm usually the same. I am. My transfer strategy at Hertha has been very, very different to how I would do it any other time. I'm normally going for the youngsters. I'm normally spending the money on the young players, and I normally don't buy players older than sort of 24, 25. But because I've got the youngsters coming through, I'm looking for that short-term boost. Right, okay, he's gone. I'm getting 13.5 mil. That may not be enough. How much am I meant to be offering up front here? I'm going to interact with the board and see if I can... What do you mean you can't afford it? Look how much money you've got in the balance. Come on. I need 30.5 mil. Right. We could just cancel that, I guess. Withdraw the offer. We're not far off. I mean, we're 1.7 million off. They could give me that. Alright, we'll go back to other options for now. See what else is around. Right. We're saying he's too old, and I mean, yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I wouldn't even look at these two 30-year-olds. He's only 20. He's 29, so he's not far off it, and I wouldn't spend that much money on those two, even though they are, potentially just as good. His height put me off him. And do I just go all in for Digao? Just say, right, I'm going to buy him. He plays a cover role, and then eventually, potentially, develops into a first teamer. Al Clark decided I don't like all of the scary things that I see. Injury prone, probably going to get sent off quite a bit, and he's inconsistent. None of that sounds good. Shall we limit the age? Maybe. Well, let's see who's around at 23 and younger. because they've still got plenty of development left. Right. Al Clark and above, you're the ones who might develop. You are... I need a centre-back. I don't want to look at left-backs anymore. Vandenham guy means I desperately need centre-backs. Alright, who's around? Tolosa... Tolosa... You haven't got a great deal of room for development, but 6 foot, very fast, good mentals, kind of an all-rounder. You're more of a fullback though, aren't you? Yeah, I mean, you're solid. You're not... He's an all-rounder. He's not a specialist in any one area of defending. Matty White. What have we got here? He's a defensive midfielder. He's 5'11". Why are all these centre-backs 5'11"? Let's age to max 26 and have a look what's about. Yeah, I think I might need to expand the range because 23 and younger, there's development opportunities for some of them. The lack of natural fitness worries me on that one. Well, that's a loan option. 4 caps for Brazil. Again, you know, he's no better than the all-rounder I saw earlier. So you're not right. Okay, let's up the age. Say 27, shall we? Right, we've got this lad. I mean, he's 98 million. I've avoided looking at him because 98 million is just silly money for me. Yeah, minimum release clause. There's just not a chance in hell that we can do that. The guy Sporting for 17 million. I missed one at Sporting. Let's have a look. We've got one here for 27. Probably not the one you're talking about, though, is it? Ah, this guy here, Ruben Oliveira. 6'4" is big. Big is good. Good in the air. Potential to develop. Scouts don't seem massively impressed, do they? Could be a bit of a gamble, but they've got him described as a wonder kid. I do like a wonder kid. 20 years old, he's got loads of time to develop into a stronger player. It's a good spot, Deeks. Decent composure, still a decent decision maker, concentration, bravery. Probably not the ball playing defender though, because of the lack of vision and the passing's not brilliant. And I am looking for a backup. I'm quite happy with Cristiano and Akani / Chrysostomou as my top 3. He would be one with a view to the future. Do you know what? That's a very good spot, and we're just going to do that. Is that a relegation? A release fee? Yes, it is. Right. Let's do it. What's the worst that can happen? Right. Hold on. Excuse me. Oh, Sporting also in the Champions League, so I think that... No, they're not. Why is it doing that to me? I'm very confused by that. Okay, let's just get that deal across the line. I don't understand why he's got a release clause, clubs in the Champions League, which I am, for 16.75 million. It hasn't expired, and yet they were able to negotiate that. Oh, do you know what? I think what I need to do is cancel my offer for Dembele. It's not Dembele, it's Diomande. Because otherwise I won't be able to get anything out of that. Won't be able to offer him anything at all. Right, back to his contract offer. We don't do yearly wage rises, but I'll give you the rest. Wrestling's not loading at all, so I'm back. You're watching on like a streaming service of some kind. Yeah, I keep forgetting Sporting. There's such a good source of decent players who you can usually get at a fairly reasonable price. No one wants Hildebrand. Well, I did tick the offer up to 17 mil, but it normally comes up with the little triangle, little warning triangle to say you've hit a release clause. It didn't do that, which was bizarre. Right, Lugalio's going to Stuttgart, which is fine by me. No, Fight TV. I've never even heard of that. But then I am an old man in comparison, so I've not heard of many things that you probably know about. Okay, well, probably not the deal we were expecting to do, but 20-year-old wonder kid, can't complain too much about that. Yeah, you are playing. Yeah, we're not going to turn you into a ball-playing defender because I don't think you've got it in you. Get you registered. Is he a panic buy? Yes, he absolutely is, but I'm not telling you that. Is it bad to support two clubs? No. Yeah, he's a backup, and he could develop into a first teamer at some point. Yeah, I don't think it's bad to support two clubs. I I find it I struggle to see how people genuinely support, and I mean fully support, two clubs. The way you were talking about Leeds earlier, and sort of the way the relegation affected you. I don't know if I could feel that for two clubs. I think it's very easy to support one club and then have another or other clubs that you have a soft spot for, that you quite like to see do well. Oh bugger, ads again. If I get, I'll sell him if someone's willing to pay what I want for him. Let's offer him out one last time. So I'll even take 10, let's say 12 mil, 12 and a half up front, and then the rest will take over instalments. Because God knows I need to fund my future instalments somehow. crazy. The ad appears for 2 seconds for me, then goes off. I've had that happen to me recently as well while I was watching someone stream the other night. It kind of flashed up and then disappeared. I didn't know whether that had been like someone had cancelled the ads or whatever, or snoozed it just in time, which is what you can do. You can snooze them. Yeah, I think we just accept that and get him out of the club. Okay, with that in mind, one last look at the squad planner. I'm happy there. This is my weak spot, left back. Maybe we look for a loan at left back. Centre back, I'm now quite happy. Oliveira, he's got work to do, but he could be a big thing. Happy there. Happy there. More than happy with what we've got in these positions. Stuff it. Let's see if we can get a left back on loan, shall we? Let's see who's on the market. We've not got long left, so we're going to have to just try and pick someone. Good Bundesliga. I feel like we can do better than good, but you cover left and right back. That's a good thing. I mean, scraps. It'd be strange to hear that there might be another glitch in Twitch. That never happens. And any one of these would be fine. Kirkes, who's actually described as leading, might be the better of them. Had 4 ads, then another 4 played. I think you might have got scraps ads. It's all a bit weird. Yeah, what scraps described, I had in someone else's stream. Feel bad for Deeks. Yeah, me too. But if it helps, I will earn something like 15 to 20 cents from all of the ads that have been played tonight. So I don't know if that's any comfort at all. It's certainly not for me. But I've said it before. The reason I earn next to nothing out of it at all. But I'm going to keep it on just in case one day I have 100 viewers on a nightly basis, and rather people use the ads now rather than be like, oh, look at him, he's got big, so he's added the ads. So yeah, I do try to make sure you don't miss anything important. We are just toying with the idea of trying to bring in a left back on loan. We've only got 1 hour of deadline day left. I still worry that I'm not quite covered out there. Merkez definitely is the better option of those two, isn't he? Well, we'll put an offer in. Let's see what we can get. We'll pay all his wages. That's fine. If I give an optional fee of something stupid, let's say 40 million. What do you think? Getting closer. Good. So, no, you can have your 3.1. Just want to get that off the screen. Perfect. Right, I think that's our loan option. You can drop me a follow on here so you can see my stream tomorrow. Absolutely will, mate. Absolutely will. Especially with cost of living going up, anyone would do anything for money. Yeah, and I don't know if I'm quite at anything, but yeah. There we go. I've followed you, Deeks. I'll come and look at your stream tomorrow. Right. I think that's all the business we're going to do. Unless there is someone on the loan list who's just incredible who we've missed. No, I think that's it. Yeah, to an extent. Yeah. I was joking with my wife about the idea of doing a feet pics, doing an OnlyFans for feet pics. I mean, it's not beyond the pale, is it? Okay, and Hildebrand is off. Thank God. He's been wanting to leave ever since I turned up, and I'm glad to see him out the door now. And we've got Kirk Hez in on loan. We can't afford 98 million, so don't even ask. And hopefully, we'll have a bit of money to play with in January as a result of selling Hildebrand. Got to figure out who to start with. Might start unemployed with no badges and loads of leagues. That's exactly what I did. It's exactly what I did, and it's been great fun. I do love especially the start when you've got you start in a league usually that you don't know anything about with players you've never heard of, and you've got no money to spend on anything, and you've just got to use whatever is at your whatever resources you've got at your club, scouts, coaches, whatever, director of football if you have one, asking them to suggest signings, and I tend to find I can play around with tactics a bit more. I did a 4-4-2 custom wing play at Angered because that just worked. I had a 6'3" target man, and it was bang on, exactly what we needed. And then moved up to Oster's IF, who were for the level comparatively rich, so I ended up playing a bit of tick-a-tacker football. Kirkes was right at Northampton. I remember he got so many yellow cards. He's come to me as pretty much as a backup, but depending on how Cohane gets on, because he had his moments last season. He was good going forward, but defensively he was a bit of a liability. Hoping that he'll get some game time, and actually with the Champions League we're going to have to rotate. We've got more games to play now, so he'll definitely get some game time. £15 for a pick. Yeah, exactly. It's just your feet. You don't even have to. You can do it anonymously, can't you? So yeah, why not? If people out there can afford to pay it, I'll happily take their money. Who was your first club in this save? So it was Angered BK. So in Division 2, Norra Götaland. I don't even know what the Division 2 North Götaland. I don't know. That must be a region in Sweden. But yeah, they were. I mean, they're not even that high up anymore. They've obviously fallen out of. Also, actually, I've discontinued the league, so who knows? Oh, Division 3. There you go. They've dropped. We got them promoted. We won the league with them. So I've got different leagues loaded now to what I started with. So now I've got the top 5 because that's the level I'm at. That's what I'll do is I'll start with. So I started with Sweden, Norway, Wales. I think I started with Scotland, although it was probably a bit ambitious. How else did I start with? Let's have a look. I think I also had Romania. I think I had Poland, and one or two others. I've only picked so many because eventually it gets too slow. But yeah, I just went for some of the sort of lower leagues, the smaller leagues that I've not really managed in before, and then just took the first job that came along. And then as I go season by season, as I start to move up through the divisions, I take out all of the leagues which are below me in terms of reputation. Where do I see league reputation? Probably just in here somewhere, isn't it? Europe. Oh, it's in here somewhere. Come on, here we go. Competition reputations. Yeah. So now I'll use this. So if I'm in, Superliga in Romania, then I'll make sure that the leagues I've got loaded are up here. And now I'm in the top 5 leagues, so I've only got the top 5 loaded because my next move could be 21 of them. Money is money at the end of the day. Absolutely is scraps. Like I say, wouldn't necessarily advocate doing anything for money. And everyone's got to keep their own dignity, haven't they? But yeah, like I say, money's money. I've never had that question before. Did you actually sign him after the deadline? Well, no, I don't think we did. Call me Ben. Nice to meet you, Ben. Now, if you've not seen it from my Twitter yet, sorry, excuse me. If you've not seen it from my Twitter yet, I'm Adam. Nice to meet you. We are going to call the stream to an end in a few minutes, I think. Now that we've got deadline day out of the way, we'll register our Champions League squad, and then I think we are going to toddle off to bed. It's Father's Day tomorrow, and I know my 3 kids are going to wake me up at a stupid time, just because that's what they like to do. Okay, yes, yes. Excellent, we can register all the players we want to register. It's been a while since I've been able to do that. Just need to double check I'm not missing anyone. You're under 21, you're under 21, as are you, and you. The third keeper might have not have been the worst idea. We'll live or survive. Okay, that's it. We've got everyone that we wanted. Just make sure we've registered everyone for the league. We have indeed. Excellent. Well, this should be the squad that takes us to hopefully a title challenge and at least knockout stages of the Champions League. My board are expecting a little bit less than that. They're expecting top 4, so qualification for the Champions League, and I've already met their expectations in the Champions League itself. I think we can go one better in each of those. I want a proper league challenge, a title challenge, and I want knockout stages. Confirm a cat. Oh, hello. That's not changing, is it? Okay, yeah. Because we got rid of what's his name. Okay, we'll do this press conference. I don't do any of the other press conferences, but new signing press conferences have apparently, I'm told, can help players' adaptability. So I just say lots of nice things about them. Yeah, enjoy Deeks, and I'll make sure to pop by and see you stream tomorrow. Excellent. Okay. That's a good place to call it, guys. So we're going to go and raid someone else. Let's go and see who is around and streaming Football Manager, shall we? There's bound to be someone. Okay. Let's go with Stephen Thomas Gaming. This time of the night, it's mostly going to be streamers outside of the UK. So let's go and say hi to Stephen, shall we? Let's get that set up, and then we'll say our goodbye as well. It's been an absolute pleasure, and for everyone who's joined me, you've helped make this a really enjoyable stream. And hope to see you back. We'll be back on Tuesday next to continue this and hopefully get a really good start underway in the league. So thank you very much for joining, everyone, and I'll catch you on the next one.